The manager, Sean Dyche, has been mentioned in the last 72 hours or so, but I think he would want a long-term contract, not a deal until the end of the season. There was even talk of Ange Postecoglou possibly.
What football ground are you thinking of when someone says this?
Really tough place to go.
Difficult place to go.
Such a tough place to go.
It's a tough place to go at the moment.
It was a really difficult place to go, always.
But what are the toughest places to go, really? We've scoured the planet to find out. Forget a cold, wet Tuesday night in Stoke. Try playing in a blizzard 220 miles inside the Arctic Circle at the world's northernmost professional club. When Chelsea lost at Tromsø in Norway in the 97-98 Cup Winners' Cup, a massive snowstorm hit at half-time. These two boys and their brooms were absolutely no match for it. We're staying in Scandinavia for Scotland's toughest away day on a windswept cliff in the Faroe Islands. In Euro 2000 qualifying, Craig Brown's men were taken to fishing village Toftir. Kevin Gallagher called the pitch a cowfield and the wind like Pittodrie on a bad day. The Faroe Islands part-timers equalised in stoppage time, leading to these absolute scenes, and still one of Scotland's most embarrassing results.
Daft little ground, silly game.
But away trips don't come any tougher than a lung-busting schlep up the Andes to face Bolivia in La Paz. But now the Bolivians have taken home advantage to another level. The country's highest city, El Alto, 4,100 metres above sea level. Grass doesn't even grow up here. Bolivia have not lost here yet. The longest unbeaten run in any professional league ever belongs to Red Star Belgrade, or Crvena Zvezda if you must. They've gone 7 years without defeat at the Rajko Mitic in Serbia's Superliga. Their fans are pretty intimidating as well, but they're not as loud as this mob. Galatasaray's Ali Sami Yen Stadium's officially the loudest in world football. In a derby with Fenerbahce, Galatasaray fans set a Guinness World Record of 131 decibels. That's louder than Motorhead, and pretty tough to carry out your manager's instructions when you can't even hear them. However, our most intimidating away day is in Wales, where cameras can't enter and players can't leave. HMP Prescoed. This prison team was briefly kicked out the Gwent League over concerns about young opposition having to go in there. Now that's a tough place to go.
Early June 1939, Germany, always a tough place to go to.
Okay, it's Monday the 16th of March. A very good morning to you. This is talkSPORT Breakfast with Arnold Clark. Browse the UK's best used car deals and score your dream car today. Check out the website for more details. As I said, it's a very good morning, and joining me in this very good morning is Gabby Bonhor. Gabby, a very good morning.
Alistair, how are we, my friend? How are we?
Gabby, I'm excellent, mate. A good weekend. Loved my sport this weekend. How about you?
Didn't enjoy my sport this weekend, but that's me, maybe. You know, we struggled in the rugby. The only good thing about this weekend, Alistair, was the Formula One. Very good.
Yes. Yeah, we'll move on to the Formula One later.
Can't we start on that?
No, sadly we can't, mate. I'll tell you where we're starting, mate. We're going to start, well, I'll tell you we'll start with Arsenal's late goals, right? I mean, I'm going to ask you, right, being an ex-player yourself, and played myself, how do you feel in the Manchester City dressing room?
Oh.
Right, just before you go out to play West Ham. Now, I know you're concentrating on your own game and all that. I get it. We absolutely get it. But how do you feel when you hear the news? Because you'll know it's nothing each. You'll know there's no goals with about 3 or 4 minutes to go. And then, bang, 93rd or whatever it was minutes, 2-0. It must have a wee dent. You don't think?
100%. And if it was the opposite, Ali, and it stayed 0-0 going into their game, Manchester City, it gives you that lift. They probably go and win that game.
Correct.
I think the players are a bit deflated of like, oh, they keep getting the late goals. Why couldn't Everton hold on? I think probably some of the players were on the way to the game, watching it on their phone, thinking, yes, Everton, I can see this getting over the line.
I know,
And
mate.
when you look at Manchester City, Ali, I know you was at the game, but
Yep.
they're just not clinical anymore, are they?
Not at all, mate. Absolutely not at all. I mean, as usual, and as you would expect, they had the majority of the possession of the ball. But you know something? You just have a feeling. I used the word comfortable. I thought West Ham were really, really comfortable. I thought the back three, Disasi and Todibo and Mavropanos, were excellent. Particularly Mavropanos, he scores his goal. But I didn't really feel they were stretched at all, Gab. Do you know what I mean?
No.
They weren't really asked any questions. And I thought, and the one thing I would say, and they've been doing it for weeks. They've got a bit of fight about them and a bit of spirit about them, which will move on to Spurs as well. It's the first time I've seen a bit of fight like that in them in a long time. But I thought to myself, I'm looking at West Ham, I think, oh, they can, they're pretty comfortable, they're digging deep, and I just couldn't really see that one or two wee chances, Man City, but I just couldn't see them scoring, mate.
Yeah, I said last week, Ali, I said, don't be surprised, guys, if how important this game is for Spurs, because I thought Forest would win, they didn't, but I said to the lads, I said, don't be surprised if West Ham get a point against Manchester City, because they're showing fight, West Ham.
Yep.
The players are all aligned with the manager, the fans are on side, it won't be an easy 3 points for Manchester City, and he proved that. You look at Haaland, you look at, Doku, Shirky coming on, they don't look threatening, do they, Ali? And even in that centre midfield, I love Bernardo Silva, I love Rodri, but they are missing something in centre midfield as well for me.
100%, mate. I think he's gradually getting back, Rodri, but I just still don't think he's 100% back to the player of the year that he was. What, Gabby, I know Tottenham did the Villa a bit of a favour yesterday as well, but another disappointing. Well, you just don't do well at Old Trafford, really, or do you?
I think it's 2 wins in maybe 37 games in the Premier League era, Ali.
That's incredible, eh?
One of those games I scored the winner in a 1-0 win, but we won't talk about that.
Oh, we
Not
will.
to bring that up. But we've always struggled there, Ali, and the players looked scared at times. I was watching a game, Ali, and it was like at times first half, Villa were playing 10 passes equals a goal in their head.
I know what you mean, mate.
Sometimes, Ali, you keep the ball from the back and you go to the midfield and you go back and you go to the keeper. And I'm like, guys, goals win games.
I know, mate.
Finally, Manchester United scored. They wake up, Barkley scores, and then poor decision making again. Aston Villa punished defensively, but too slow, too lethargic, very boring to watch. And Aston Villa, like I said to you a few weeks ago, Ali, are going to struggle for top 5.
I know, I'm looking at it now, I've got it in front of me. I tell you, United, I mean, they're not there yet, but you've got to say they've given themselves, what an opportunity they've given themselves.
No midweek football as well.
I know, I mean, that helps, of course it does, absolutely. But then, I'm looking elsewhere, and there's nobody going and grabbing the 4th and 5th places, is there, really?
Ali, honestly, Aston Villa have lost the last 3 games.
Yeah.
Before that, they drew. So in the last 4 games, they've not won a game. Drawn 1, lost 3. It's like they've been trying to gift this top 4 position to Liverpool and Chelsea, and they don't want it. Do you know what I mean, Ali? It's
amazing, eh? And absolutely amazing. I couldn't tell you, really. I'm looking at Villa and I'm looking at Liverpool, and I don't know. I genuinely at this moment in time, I don't know who's going to.
The only thing about Villa, Ali, they've got some decent games coming up.
Coming up, have they?
West Ham on the weekend. In a few weeks, they've got Burnley away to play. So their last 2 games are tough. Last game of the season is Manchester City away. But if you look at the next game, Ali, on the weekend, first of all, they've got Lille in the second leg, massive game at Villa Park on Thursday. Then on Sunday, they play West Ham at home, Ali. And to be honest, mate, if I'm West Ham, go for it, because they could easily go to Villa Park and get 3 points. If you're Spurs and Nottingham Forest, don't be looking at Villa to do you a favour on the weekend. Let me tell you that.
I know, you're right, they've got to go for it. Listen, we've got somebody on the line. I think you might be busy this morning with Manchester United fans, mate.
Already?
Already, mate. 0377 223344. The number
God's
of United
sake.
fans are queuing up to speak to you this morning, Gab. And somebody that's done that is Carl. And Carl's a United fan. Good morning, Carl. How are you, my friend?
Good morning, Carl.
Good morning, Ali. Good morning, Gabby.
Thanks for joining us this morning, Carl. I tell you what, I mean, you look a tap in for a Champions League spot now, United, don't they?
Oh, they do, yeah. Well, kudos to Michael Carrick for what he's done, and it's absolutely fantastic. But I just wanted to see how Gabby was, because obviously, United weren't the team they used to be, and Villa were above them, and who would leave Aston Villa to go to United? And, poor club and that. How you doing this morning, Gabby, my man?
Carl, I'm going to bend the knee, mate. I'll surrender. I want to apologise to all Manchester United fans. I'm a new person, Ali. Manchester United are the greatest club in Premier League history.
No, kudos to you, because I do listen every morning, and you have been backtracking a bit and saying that the Villa are on their way down. So kudos to you, Gabby. You have stuck to your word, and they are on the way down a little
mate.
bit.
We've been struggling. You know what, mate? When I watched the game on the weekend, like Bruno Fernandes.
Oh, I was going to talk. That's what I was going to say.
Wow.
That's him, Carol. I think that's him broke the assist record. I think David Beckham made the record.
David Beckham. I think Henry is at 20. I think he's after now. Henry is 20 for the record for the Premier League. What a pass for that Cunha goal.
Brilliant.
Oh my God.
Absolutely brilliant.
It was that good of a pass that Konsa wasn't even ready for it.
Yeah, it was a tremendous
Konsa's probably
pass.
thought, like, he's not going to do a first-time pass. I've got time here. No, before you know it, the top players will punish you.
Carl, what about Casemiro? Do you think would you mind squeezing another year out of Casemiro? But he looks as though he's going at the end of the season, obviously.
I would, but I'd like to do it on a reduced wage, because we pay him absolutely ridiculous wage. But he's absolutely been marvellous for the last couple of months under Carrick and that. But it is what it is. But before I go, I will say, I think Villa will win the Europa League, and that's your way back into the Champions League, Gabby, because you're not going to get above us now, are you?
No. Mate, honestly, like I'll take it all, because Villa have been very poor, mate. Like, their record, 2026, has been abysmal. But don't be fooled with this Europa League, because there's some good teams still. If they get through the next two ties, they have to play Roma. Aston Villa thing to do would be Daniel Marlon scored a winner, Ali. Play with it. Go.
Oh, I know that'd be tough. Listen, Carol, great call, mate.
Yeah,
Thanks
get
very
back
much.
to bed, Carl.
Appreciate your time. Well done. Just a quick one, Gab. What about Tottenham at Liverpool? And what about Liverpool at home at Tottenham? What did you think? I mean,
well,
I know.
Where do you start, Ali? First of all, I'll say, I know Liverpool have got a massive tie against Galatasaray in a week.
Yep.
But to not start Salah, Ekitike, Konate, Kirkes, did they look at Spurs and think, you know what, we can have Gakpo up front, Frimpong off the right, that's enough to beat Spurs. And Spurs showed fight and shocked Liverpool. So I think Slot should have played your strongest side, Ali, and maybe took players off. What do you think?
I think you're probably right, mate, to be honest. It's come back to haunt them. But the one thing I would say, it's the first time in a while I've been reasonably impressed with Tottenham, Gab, you know what I mean? Because I was over in Madrid, and as you know there, mate, they were all over the place. The whole carry on with the goalkeeper coming off after 15 minutes. And I've said for the last 3 or 4 days, they're in big, big trouble. And one of the reasons for that is that West Ham, Forest, Leeds, teams like that have all got a bit of fight about them. Yeah. And I said, and I hadn't seen it from Tottenham. But, to be fair, I saw as much of it yesterday I've seen in weeks, to be brutally honest with you, mate.
Yeah, and Richarlison, I'm not his biggest fan, but he did turn up yesterday.
Yeah.
He caused them havoc for Gomez and Van Dijk. The goal that they scored, Spurs, Robertson got to do better with a header. Van Dijk, too easy. Gomez comes across when he doesn't have to. He can stay with Richarlison. They don't score. But that's what Spurs fans want to see, Ali, some fight, because they have to. They would have saw the results before, of Nottingham Forest getting another point. West Ham showing fight again. It's time to wake up. But their problem's not away from home, is it?
No.
Because away from home, Ali, they're 9th in the table.
They've done all right.
But at home, they're bottom.
I know, mate. That's a big problem.
Can you believe it? Bottom of the table.
Which is
home
remarkable.
record.
No, it's absolutely remarkable. Incredible, mate. OK, Liverpool fans, if you fancy giving us a call, do what Carol did. Pick up the phone. The number is 03717 223344. Coming up, we turn our attention to back pages and whether Igor Tudor proved yesterday that, in fact, he is the right man to keep Spurs up.
Morning, guys.
Jermaine.
Morning. Morning, Gav.
Jay,
Morning,
good
boss.
morning.
Morning, boss. You okay?
Yeah, I'm good. All good.
Why are you not here, Jermaine? I thought you would be with us today in the box, smelling amazing.
I might have to come down, actually. Looks like it's going to be fun. Nice day for it.
Yeah, great day.
Jump on the headache up there, you'll be fine, mate.
He's not a racing man, I don't think, is he?
Oh,
I'm not. The boss knows I'm not really, and he's getting involved in it, though.
Yeah.
Saying all the right
He's well
things.
behaved, didn't come on a Tuesday when he was in on a Wednesday.
No.
Yeah, he was definitely there on a Tuesday.
We're the lads here. All got the helicopter here, didn't they?
Did they?
Tottenham, yeah. Yeah.
That was Rob,
Jermaine,
that
it's
was
good
Robbie
to
that
have
saw
you
that.
on with this. Let's get your thoughts now on your former club. Shall we start with Spurs? It's a bit of a mess.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously it's been a hard watch all season. To be honest, I think especially the other night I watched the game and yeah, it was just I think the manager's come in and he's in, especially in that game he's decided to start a young goalkeeper in Kingsley, and I think I was surprised when he took him off. To be honest, I think when you have a young goalkeeper and you make that decision in such a game of that magnitude to start him, I think you've got to stay with him. I think what a young goalkeeper can gain from that sort of experience, even though it weren't going well when he made the two big mistakes. But I think you've got to stay with him. And the fact that the manager decided to take him off and not really acknowledge him when he come off,
Hello and welcome to talkSPORT Goals. I'm taking you through what should be another busy day of football. Chance to win it!
We don't need to do that, guys.
I'm going to owe you an apology. How would you get to that conclusion? That's a weak mentality.
Oh, get out of it.
I don't mind it, mate.
What's a tune? Who sings it, Ali?
I don't mind it. All that. I know I'm all over that, mate. That's Blue
Cantrell.
Blue Cantrell, yeah, different class. He's one of my favourites. This is talkSPORT Breakfast. Ali and Gabby with you this morning. Like we said to you there, that was breathed by Blue Cantrell.
And Sean Paul.
Well, why are we playing it this morning, Gabby? Well, that's because the former Grammy nominated R&B star turns 50 today. So a very happy birthday.
What
Big
a
fan?
tune. Oh, massive. This is my... What? Teenage years, Ali?
Yes.
Unbelievable, mate. My R&B years.
Oh, you have
amazing.
some memories to that, boy.
Oh, you don't want to know.
You must have been running.
Yeah.
I mean, you were effectively running. You were running Birmingham at that time, weren't you?
And the rest. Manchester, Newcastle, London.
The whole bit. Right, we're going to have a look at the back pages.
Back page review on talkSPORT.
Olivia, good morning to you.
Olivia.
How are you?
Morning, I'm good, thanks. How are you?
How's your weekend?
Do you know, it was lovely. I actually was up in Newcastle, went to Alan Shearer's foundation ball for his charity.
Oh, I was looking at some of the what do you call it, the videos from it on his Instagram. It looked a brilliant night.
Yeah, it was brilliant. It was just, it was a lovely evening, and they're raising money for an incredible cause. So it was great. I sort of didn't watch the football, and I'm very glad I didn't. Suppose you're the same as me, Gabby. Yeah.
I know.
We just switched off this weekend.
Yeah,
Chelsea,
Chelsea, 22 shots, Ali, 0 goals. Yeah.
Saw it, mate. I saw the highlights. Right. Anthony Gordon again. What about Anthony? Oh, mention Alan Shearer. What about Anthony Gordon? He had a wee fallout with Shearer, Rooney, didn't he?
I know.
I thoroughly enjoyed his post-match interview because to come out and say that he's, he said it's the biggest game of my career. Yes. The fact that they've said that I didn't want to play is outrageous. Like, he was ill in bed and he wanted to play, and Eddie Howe went, you know what, you've been ill, let's play someone else. Yes. I think that's so harsh.
So do I. So do I. But hey.
But anyway.
Yeah, if MD's entitled to have an opinion on Newcastle, it's Big Al.
It's Big Al. We love Alan. I didn't actually know Alan Shearer said it as well. I just thought I only saw the Wayne Rooney. Yes. I saw Wayne Rooney. But anyway, let's have a look at the back pages then.
What have we got?
Igor Blimey on the back page of The Sun after that Liverpool second half performance. I don't know what that was. Scuff luck. Doesn't matter. They all go in on the back page of the Mirror.
Yes.
Strike it rich, back page of the Daily Mail, and rags to riches on the back page of the Express. Now, for Richarlison, he gets a lot of criticism.
Yes.
But do you feel like, Gabby, that the situation that Spurs are in, he is exactly the sort of player that could show a bit of fight that they need right now?
It depends on what Richarlison turns up.
Yeah.
If the one from yesterday turns up, yes.
If
the one that throws himself on the floor when someone taps him on the back and rolls around, that Richarlison, no. Yeah. If they can get him from yesterday for the next 8 Premier League games, then they've got every chance.
Well, yeah, because it doesn't feel like anyone's really shown fight apart from him.
No, it's the first time I've seen them show kind of roll the sleeves up. I've got to be honest. I said to Gab there earlier on, I don't know if you heard, I've been saying they're banging trouble, and that's one of the reasons. Because you look at West Ham, you look at Leeds, Forest, they've got players in there that roll the sleeves up and fight for points. And I was concerned, and I think with some justification about Tottenham players doing that. And I don't think they had been doing it, but they did it yesterday.
What I will tell you though, Ali, is that goalkeeper of theirs, if I was still playing now in that team, in that changing room, I would be screaming at him. It's in the middle of the goal.
It's
in the... Ali, I've had it before with keepers, and I've seen players come in and hammer them. It's in the middle of the goal. What are you doing? Move your feet.
How's it? Yeah, I don't understand how that's even gone in.
Chance.
Soboslai scored some worldies over the years.
That wasn't one of them.
Yeah, that wasn't one of them. Should have saved it. Do you think, Ali, now, listen, that Liverpool second half performance, you could see what was coming that whole time. But do you feel like you've seen enough from Spurs in that second half performance to feel like... No, Gabby's shaking his...
Well, I'm a Gabby. I think they've given themselves a chance. But it's all right doing it for 190 minutes. You need to do it every 90 minutes. And I think from what I've seen at West Ham, I've seen West Ham about 3 times, maybe in the last couple of weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, and they're doing it. They're unbeaten in 5. You know what I mean? They lost a late goal to Manchester United to prevent 3 points. West Ham definitely. Leeds will fight all the way. Forest will be the same. So yes, Olivia, and answer your question, I think that I saw enough yesterday that if they put that level of performance in and that level of fight in, they'll have a really good chance of staying up. Whether they can do it every week, I'm not so sure.
What I will say though is that if you're West Ham, if you're Nottingham Forest, Leeds, and you saw Liverpool's lineup, I bet you were like, what's going on here, guys? Like, no Ekitike, no Salah, no Konate.
I know.
And if you're Spurs seeing that lineup before the game, you're thinking, all right, guys, come on. This is our chance to get something. I think they lose if Liverpool started their strongest side.
Yeah, I mean, I thought Rio Ngamoa was their best player. I was really surprised when Arne Slot took him off because he looked the most dangerous.
He was at Wolves, Olivia. I saw him at Wolves. And he was by far away. I thought he was the best player on the pitch. Ngamoa, he looks really, really lively. He's direct. He goes and takes people on. You know, everything, to be fair, that Salah at that particular game wasn't doing on the right side, Ngamoa was doing on the left side.
Yeah, I thought he was brilliant. I thought it was a really...
McAllister poor, Gakpo poor, Salah when he come on...
Most of them were poor.
Didn't do anything either, Ali. Honestly, he's a different player watching him.
I know, mate.
So I think Liverpool have got problems, and the top 5 is not guaranteed for them either.
No, I think basically Villa, Chelsea and Liverpool, it's the best of the worst. Whoever can put the best of the worst, because all 3 of us are just a bit rubbish at the moment. So, whoever's the best out of those 3 will probably get that Champions League spot. Obviously, they have a bit of a free hit, Spurs, in the Champions League. No one expects them to go through. They're already out, but that Forest at home game next weekend,
massive.
Watch a game.
Huge.
Watch a game that'll be.
Absolutely huge. Definition of a 6-pointer. Let's move on to Manchester United then. Obviously, big win, Gabby.
Yeah.
As expected.
As expected, because they do have 3 weeks between games.
And when you can spend nearly 300 million and Aston Villa spend 30 million, then what do you expect, Olivia? Isn't that right, Alistair?
Well, you do have a point. However, I have to say that the transformation of Manchester United with Michael Carrick's fantastic. I really do. I think they've still their work in progress. I don't think there's any doubt about that. And what there is no doubt about, the one game a week definitely helps. That's a standout.
And when you play players in the right position, Ali, how doesn't it?
That's it, mate. And you've got players of the quality. I mean, Fernandes, guys. I mean, to beat Beckham's record, he's been the one standout. Fernandes has been absolutely.
Imagine playing with him, Ali. You can make any run.
Mate.
I think he's I think he's been the best player. I'd probably say right now he's the best player in the Premier League, and I think he's probably the outstanding candidate for Player of the Year.
Yeah. I wouldn't disagree. He certainly comes into the running. His level of performance, his consistency has been tremendous, I think, guys. Really has.
Yeah, I want to get your thoughts on this sort of I say dispute. I don't know if it's a dispute, but obviously Wayne Rooney's coming out saying, let Michael carry on, the back page of The Sun. Wayne Rooney wants Michael Carrick to be given a job. And Roy Keane has come out on Sky once again after the game and says...
It's the bitter.
He says there are better options out there. Now, I can't think of that many better options. I think maybe if Unai Emery became available, would Manchester United go for him over Michael Carrick? And if someone like Luis Enrique became available and would be open to moving to Manchester United, then what do you do, Gabby?
But why are we talking about this now? You know, there's still 8 Premier League games to go. Wait till see where Manchester United finish.
But we're looking at the table now.
Yeah.
You think they're going to get Champions League?
I think so, yeah, but you never know.
You never know. Yeah. But if we're looking at it right now, they're in pole position. They've only got 1 game a week, going up against all 3 teams that are in Europe. Yeah. I think they're going to get Champions League.
What if they give it him now and then their results become poor, Ali?
No, they're not.
And then they don't finish top 5. Everyone's saying, why not wait to the end of the season? If he continues as he is, I would give it him at the end of the season.
Over someone like Enrique.
Yeah, but I would give him like a 1 or 2 year deal, not a 3, 4, 5 year deal, Ali. 1 or 2 years. He'll take that.
Yeah. I'm with you, mate. I don't think it's. I understand the clamour to give him the job right now, but why would you? I think things are ticking along nicely.
Yeah.
You know, give him the opportunity to continue. I've mentioned the 1 game a week, which helps. There's no doubt about that. I think they will finish in Champions League places, and I actually do think he will get the job. And I think he probably should get the job. Not probably. I think he should get a job on the level of performance that his team's producing, on the level of improvement. Because I sometimes think, Gab, Olivia, if, for example, he qualifies for the Champions League, just say they continue the way they're going, they finish 3rd, and they don't give him the job, and someone comes in and it's a disaster. Well,
but Ali, Olivia, as well, you need someone that's neutral to speak about it. Wayne Rooney's his good friend.
Yeah.
Roy Keane and him have fell out, obviously, because he brought up his wife recently and he was so bitter and angry about himself, about Johnny Evans getting the job and Woodgate. So there's no point listening to what Roy Keane's got to say about that situation because he obviously, Michael Carrick will win every game 10-0 and he'd say, don't give it Michael Carrick. So you're pointless asking Keane.
All right, guys, loved that conversation.
Sorry, Ali, I love you, mate. Sorry, mate.
Plenty more on that. It's all right for you. I've got Ollie shouting at me. I'll get to the break. Coming up, guys, Gabby's favourite Arsenal fan, Joel Bayers, here in this. Yes, he's in the studio with us, and he's already getting the title party started by all accounts. Gabby's morning gets even worse. You don't even want to miss it. Stay tuned, guys.
Come on! That is just so typical.
That's so nonsensical.
PSG 3, Chelsea 2, and goodness me, boys, you've shot yourselves in the foot.
What is that? What is that?
I said it. We said it. You bring in a keeper because he's good with his feet. But really and truly, is he that good with his feet? What's this shambolic goal?
Reece James plays the ball back to Jorgensen, who tries to play out from the back, and he gets intercepted. It falls to a PSG player. And by the way, as well, when he gets worked to Vitinha, the goalkeeper's off his line. And that is some dinked finish, isn't it? But once again there, Kwaku, he's taking way too much time. And my goodness me, in a game of football where you're level at 2-2, possibly looking the better team, in a game of this magnitude, at this level, mistakes like that, Louis, are just completely unacceptable.
It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. This is why when people talk about keepers playing with the ball at their feet all the time and how it's a massive priority, yes, I appreciate the game is changing, but the priority for a goalkeeper is saving it.
There's also moments as well that I don't think they're clearly there. You had a PSG player coming from the left-hand side.
It's logical.
You could see ahead as well someone's being pressed. I'm with you. Playing out from the back is a part of football, but if you can see there's pressure on, there has to be a moment where you don't play out from the back and you just go long.
But this is the problem. There's this consistent need to always play out the back, always play out, always play out. Just this another problem with this Chelsea team, but also not just this Chelsea team. A lot of teams now, because there is so much pressure on playing out from the back, they make silly decisions like that all the time, and we give them the ball away again.
Over the last few years, Formula One has gone from elitist and insular to a global entertainment brand. The transformation's down to American investment group Liberty Media, who cultivated a new image for the sport since buying it in 2016. Better access to drivers, improved content on social media, and tapping into the US market have given F1 a massive boost in both attention and revenues. But is everyone happy? The fans certainly are, as evidenced by Drive to Survive. Almost 7 million people per season have tuned in to get all the gossip and all the drama from the paddock. The extra exposure means the drivers can demand a higher salary too. In 2010, the top drivers were earning $20 million a year, which isn't bad. But now, the very best earn 3 times that, with Max Verstappen getting a whopping $65 million in 2025. But money doesn't always buy happiness. Some drivers, including Verstappen, don't like the pageantry the changes have brought about. In Las Vegas in 2023, Verstappen said the drivers were made to look like clowns, and the event was 99% performance and 1% race. Some purists who still watch the sport feel the same, and that the spirit of competition has suffered. But Formula One and Liberty Media don't look like slowing down anytime soon. So expect more races, major events and exclusive access in future.
Okay, this is talkSPORT Breakfast with Arnold Clark with over 20,000 used cars online to choose from. There is no doubt that they will have a car for you. Ali and Gabby with you this morning, and now it's time for this.
Win a VIP trip to the British Grand Prix on talkSPORT.
Yep, you better believe it. Listen up, F1 fans in particular. We're down to the final week. We want to send you and a mate to Silverstone on July the 5th for a British Grand Prix experience like no other. Forget general admission, we're putting you right in the heart of it with the full racing green trackside, it is, of course, experience. Now, you're going to experience that in the best way possible. You're getting exclusive grandstand seats, plus inner track access to watch the drivers roll into the paddock. And we've got the whole day sorted with all-day street food, a fully open bar, and more. Do not miss out. Here's how to enter for your chance to win. Text WIN to 83338. Text costs £2.50 plus your standard network rate, or call 0343 418 7260. Lines close 20th of March, 26 at 4 p.m. I'm laughing, I can still hear that car going on the track. That's when you need to answer the phone if it rings. Hey, gotta stop that car. It's getting through my ears, man. Oh dear, Gab. 18 plus, UK residents only. There it goes again. This is a network promotion. Full T's and C's at talksport.com. So if you have a chance to win, do as I say. Text WIN to 83338 now. Right.
Ali, we got to go to a break, apparently. Emergency break.
And I've got to go for a lie down. Is that competition long enough? Particularly when you've got Lewis Hamilton in your ear, here in Silverstone. Right, what a week it was for Arsenal, who moved 9 points clear at the top with a 2-0 win. They left it late, of course, thanks to this teenage sensation.
Arsenal come forward with Max Dowman, and they're away, and they're going to wrap up all 3 points. Max Dowman, the youngster, taps the ball home. Hugh Bedlam at the Emirates. The substitutes stream onto the pitch. The Emirates erupts in joy.
It was incredible. We're going to find out just how good is this young teenage sensation, Max Dowman. In August, he became the Premier League's second youngest debutant behind Nwaneri, as he became the Premier League's youngest ever goal scorer, which is incredible. And the back page this morning, the likes of John Terry, Alan Pardew, are already getting carried away and calling Dowman the English Messi. And I'm delighted to see joining us now as a resident Arsenal fan and Gabby's biggest wind-up merchant on the planet, Joel Bayer. Joel, good morning,
Morning,
mate.
Joel.
Good morning, Ellie and Gabby. How are you both?
Oh, mate, listen, we're absolutely buzzing, but you, I can see you're just rubbing your hands there, mate. That weekend, mate, that might be the weekend that clinched it. Am I going too far saying that?
You're not going too far. I don't think you're going far enough, Ellie, if you ask me, to be honest. But yeah, honestly, an amazing weekend. Can you imagine Max Dowman this morning in a couple of hours?
Oh, mate.
Wow.
Oh, mental. Daniel Sturridge did the little walk when he was on the show, yeah. But
exactly
really,
what he should be doing.
That was 60,000 Arsenal fans on the weekend, honestly.
But it's been coming, hasn't it? He probably looked at it and thought, I wish I had more game time than I've had.
Yeah.
He's been injured a little bit, so you can't blame him there. But, you know, he's done exceptionally well. The good thing is he's actually got a nice imprint now for when we become champions. He can look back at the season and go, I contributed. Yeah. Amazing stuff. Innit, Gabby? It's amazing, innit,
Ali,
Gabby?
this guy is unbearable, mate. Ali, when Arsenal win the league, right, I've either got to work from home or I'm going on a world tour, mate.
I'll retire.
Yeah. I'm
Joel,
going travelling.
Joel, I said to Gabby at the weekend, mate, I was doing West Ham, Manchester City, but I'm sitting watching the Arsenal game, right? And, mate, I just had a feeling. And I said to Fletcher I work with, I said, I'm telling you, mate, Arsenal scored. They're definitely scoring. And when the goal goes in, the effect it has, you know, at the Emirates, but also the effect it has, as Gabby says, in that City dressing room, mate.
Yes.
What a blow.
Yeah, you could see that they were, you know, like dejected. It wasn't the normal City that you would have expected at the Olympic Stadium. But, you know, for me, I'm not really bothered, you know what I mean? I just thought that 9 points clear now.
Yep.
Yes, Pep said the other day, he goes, oh yeah, you know, he said it's still, he said it's not over basically, didn't he? But I looked at him and I thought, you're lying, man. Even if you're smirking a bit, you're lying. Look, I can't believe it, man. I just want to see if Gabby wants to go parade clothing shopping with me because I don't know what I'm going to wear. I don't know if it's going to be the JVC kit. I don't know if I'm going to go for the 02, 03, 04, or is it going to be the 2025, 2026 Arsenal winning season?
Ali,
hey,
can you ask Joel if he saw the Diamond goal or not live? because he was at the stadium, Ali. But I think he might have left to miss the traffic.
Joe, come on now, mate.
Is this true or
No, it's true. No, you know what? I've missed both goals actually. Yeah.
Those prawn sandwiches.
I had to make it to the Olympic Stadium. Yeah. Yeah, I know.
Why?
Well, I had friends to see, really. So yeah. What's the problem with that?
No. Just saying. It's a shame you missed that iconic moment.
Mate, how far are you behind us, Aston Villa, who were challenging for the title?
Do you know what, though, Ali? Do you know what?
They can't see you, mate.
Do you know why we're so far behind them, Ali? Because Arsenal's bench yesterday, Kepa, Ben White, Louis Skelly, Nkapie, Mosquera, Dowman, Martinelli, Gabriel Jesus, Gyökeres. The squad's that good, Ali. They had to send Wanyeri to Marseille because there's no space.
talkSPORT listeners, are you seeing this? Gabby coming up with an excuse. What, because you couldn't spend as much as you wanted to last summer?
We couldn't spend, you spent the least.
Ah, you're better than that,
30
Gabby.
million we spent.
Are you better than that?
I'm not. I'm a man of facts, Ali. Ali's the same. You know, Rangers can't spend. Ali, help me out, Ali.
Oh, don't get me started on that, mate. Listen, Joe, just a quick bit of information for you, or a wee bit of advice for you, mate.
Yeah.
Get the Arsenal Charlie George 1971. That's a proper Arsenal jersey.
Is that a proper one?
Oh,
I like the yellow one. Adidas one.
Yeah. What, the bruised banana one?
ABC, was it?
Yeah.
That was a top
like that one. Yeah.
Seriously, Joe, I want to ask you, tell me a little bit about Dowman. I know there's a lot of people getting carried away, and I think the best thing we can just let the kid go on with it and play and express himself, which hopefully he'll be allowed to do.
Get him in the England squad.
Is he as exciting as you've seen in a long time, mate?
100%. I think him, and I have to be fair, Rio and Gamoa as well, really good.
Oh, yeah,
but get Max into the England squad. You need a wild card. He's different to Theo Walcott. He's actually played games for the first team. You know, with Theo, it was a little bit different in that sense. You saw him against Mansfield in the FA Cup. The guy deserves a call-up, man. He really does.
But Ali, it's not the craziest thing I've heard, because we talk about number 10s, but are our number 10s performing? Phil Foden, 0 goals in 15 games in 2026. So
I know.
Don't rule it out.
You can't rule it out. And on top of that, he can play on the flanks if you really want as well. He comes on, he makes a difference. You saw the cross from deep for the first goal. People are going on like it's wild. Who can come on and cause that much problems for a defence right now in the England team? Right now. Who? Besides Noni Madueke?
Right, exactly. I'm having Madueke, and Gabby knows I like Madueke. Yes. I do. I like him on a flank, Joe. I think he's positive. I think he's direct. I think he gets by people. He excites me. I like him. I think with the young fella, I just think we're getting a wee bit carried away too early. Listen, I'm as excited. I love him coming through. I enjoy it. But come on, guys.
You know what, though, Ali? What I would say is that how many players can go to the World Cup? Isn't it something silly now? 26, is it? Whatever it is.
Squad.
If players aren't performing, Ali, just one spot for someone who's fearless. You know, look at him. Arteta's brought him on and said, go and win the game. He could have brought Gabriel Jesus on. He didn't. He brought Dowman on. Look at him. Gets the pre-assist for the goal or whatever with a cross.
Yeah.
And then the confidence to take that goal on as well. If he can get some game time now before the end of the season, then you never know.
Do you not think that's the problem? I don't think, well, I want to say one of the problems, I'm not sure he'll get enough game time to really express himself.
Yeah, GCSEs.
Why not?
GCSEs,
you just give him 10, 15 minutes here and there. Yeah. The reality is, like I said to Gabby, we're going to have this league sewn up soon, right? He did say. It's not too long till we become
man of his word.
Champions. Exactly. So I don't see why he's not going to be getting 10, 15 minutes here and there for, like, you know, we've got what, 8, 7 games left or something like that, and you still got FA Cup games, you've still got, you know, obviously a little bit of Carabao Cup final next
But you say that, though, but, like, look at the options that you've got. Madueke and Saka, Trossard, Martinelli, Havertz, Gyökeres, Gabriel Jesus. Is there enough space?
Why not? You saw him on the weekend. Yeah. That's a big game right there, you know.
Joel, how many are you winning, mate? How many of these competitions are you winning, just a matter of interest?
Oh, man, so we're in all 4, right? Let me do my maths really quickly. You carry the 1, put the 2. You know what? I say 3 out of the 4 is ours.
Which ones? FA Cup,
Carabao Cup. No. Carabao Cup,
right.
The Premier League, and of course the big is. We're going for it.
Ali,
the Champions League.
All I can say is I feel sorry for London if you're not an Arsenal fan for these parades.
It's gonna be like
You're in trouble.
it's gonna be like Carnival times 10.
I know.
Are you coming? Are you coming to the parade with me?
Mate, I'm going as far away from London as possible. I'm going to be at Ali's in Glasgow.
Oh, mate.
He's moving up with me, Joe. Listen, Joe, great to see you, mate. I've got a feeling that smile will be on your face for,
a long time.
Yeah.
I'm taking the Premier League trophy to the World Cup as well, by the way.
Top man. Great to see you, mate. Great to see you,
guys.
Thanks for your time, pal.
Cheers.
Still to come in breakfast this morning.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. Download the new improved app to easily manage your accounts and quotes.
Okay, Liverpool fans, give us a call. We've already had plenty of calls from this morning saying you've lost faith in the manager. Is that correct? 03717223344. I'm going to have a right good chat about the F1. There's a lot of comments going on. Some of the guys happy with it, some of the guys not happy with it. F1 team principal Gunther Steiner will be here to break down the Chinese Grand Prix after Kimi Antonelli became the second youngest race winner in Formula 1 history for Mercedes. But Max Verstappen has absolutely blasted the new rules. That was our breakfast preview with Travis Perkins.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. Get free next day track delivery. Head to travisperkins.co.uk or download the app.
Just a quick word on some of the other stuff that's been doing the rounds this week. Eddie Hearn's been making more noises, discussing the prospect of AJ. We don't even know when he's going to come back and start fighting again, taking on Tyson Fury. I mean, is this just sort of like, I don't know, barroom talk, or is there real feeling behind it? Is there some substance behind the prospect of them meeting finally?
I think there's a real thirst for it from everybody involved in being able to make that fight. I think we will be a lot further down the line, obviously, if Anthony hadn't suffered the tragedy that he suffered at the back end of last year. And that's the main thing, really, for me. Him getting his head in the right space to compete, competing for the right reasons, getting himself to a place of peace. I know that he's never, ever going to get over what happened to him, but if he can get to a place of peace where he can get back in the ring, he can compete, and if he does want to do that again, then I think the obvious turn would be Tyson Fury. I think it would be really, really sad for this era of boxing and this era of boxing fan, and for both of these guys, because I think they'll look back in years gone after their career that they should have done it. I hope that they can get to a point where they do it, because I still think that it is the biggest fight for two British lads stepping in a British ring. Fingers crossed it happens on British soil, that we can get.
Right, final prediction before I let you go. Who sinks more pints of Guinness over the weekend? You in Dublin or Crookie this afternoon while he's watching the Gold Cup?
Oh, that's a killer, that. I think Crookie takes it all. I've been out with Crookie on a couple of occasions, mate, and he is a phenom, isn't he? He knows what he's doing when it comes to sinking pints.
Hello and welcome to talkSPORT Goals. We've been taking you through what should be another busy day of football.
Chance to win it!
We don't need to do that, guys.
I'm going to owe you an apology.
How would you get to that conclusion? That's a weak mentality.
Oh, get out of it.
Okay, just gone 6:45. This is talkSPORT breakfast. Excuse me, Ali and Gabby with I'm giving you the wrong time here. It's just gone 6:51. What do we know this morning? Jamie Carragher believes questions over Arne Slot's future as Liverpool manager are fair, following more points dropped at home to relegation-threatened Spurs. Now it's all kicking off in F1. Max Verstappen has compared this season's F1 to Mario Kart. I'm not bad at that. I wasn't bad at Mario Kart.
I love Mario Kart.
Oh, a different class. And he's warned bosses that they're painful new rules. That was the quote he used. We'll come back to kick the sport on the backside. An American Cameron Young lifted the unofficial, I was gutted for Matt Fitzpatrick, the unofficial fifth major of golf, pipping England's Matt Fitzpatrick to the post. talkSPORT's Hugo Chambray has the full story.
With 4 weeks until Masters Sunday, the best golfers in the world fought it out in tough conditions to win the Players, the fifth biggest individual accolade in the sport. The Swedish Ludvig Åberg took a 3-shot lead into the final round, which had already been reduced to 2 before he swiped a fairway wood into the water on the par 5 11th. By the time he walked off the 12th green, he'd hit another ball into the water and was already 3 shots back. At the halfway stage in the final round, the top of the leaderboard made for pleasing reading for fans of the European Ryder Cup team. Åberg, McIntyre and Fitzpatrick all in contention, but it was the man who nearly inspired a US comeback at Bethpage Black last autumn who mounted a late charge. Cameron Young stood on the tee at the treacherous Island Green's 17th hole, a shot back of Matt Fitzpatrick. He hit a wedge in tight and rolled in the birdie putt to tie the lead before having the minerals to hit the longest drive ever recorded on the 18th hole at TPC Sawgrass. And when Fitzpatrick's par putt slid past the right edge of the hole, Young was able to tap in for the highest profile win of his golfing career, pocketing $4.5 million in the process.
Yeah, well deserved, I've got to say. I can't tell you a lie, I didn't see an awful lot of it, but he can play Cameron Young. But I'm just looking, Gabby, I was quite pleased for the European boys. Obviously, Matt Fitzpatrick. Wee Bob McIntyre finished in 10 under as well. You know, some good performances. Tommy Fleetwood as well. We all love Tommy. Justin Rose. So European boys, not bad performances,
doing themselves proud, yes.
Yeah, absolutely, Paul. So I'll get set for the Augusta. I've got to say that Sunday night is my favourite golfing.
You love it, don't you?
Oh, I love it, mate. A wee glass of red and watching. I don't move. Get my Pecora next to me. Oh, bring it on, Gab. It's time now to take a look at the latest EFL action in partnership with McDonald's.
EFLers on talkSPORT with McDonald's. Got big McDonald's hunger? Order delivery on the McDonald's app today. From 11 a.m. 18 plus. Fees apply to delivery orders. Subject to availability. Price may vary.
Now, here we go. There's an article in there getting massive attention in the Mail. Luke Power has written that Sky Sports allowed Wrexham a party political broadcast on Friday, and that Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney's commentary was self-indulgent, boastful and tedious. The Hollywood owners provided alternative commentary on Friday night as Wrexham triumphed 2-0 over a fellow Welsh side, Swansea. I'm delighted to say that joining us is the Mail sport writer, Luke Power, right now. Luke, a very good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Morning, guys. How you doing? You okay?
We're doing great, mate. Appreciate you taking the time this early to join us, mate. I watched the highlights, mate. You obviously weren't impressed with some of the quotes you said there, self-indulgent, boastful and tedious. Some of the commentary and comments. What did you think, mate?
Yeah, I'm probably not making friends with them anytime soon, man, after that. I would say at the outset, you know, I like Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney. I think they've done a great thing for Wrexham. They really care about the club. 3 consecutive promotions is a fantastic achievement, no matter how many dollars you throw at the wall. You know, it takes a lot to build a winning culture. I think for me, the issue with this broadcast is that it was just completely one-sided. It was two owners of a football club being given the microphone for 2 hours to talk about how great their club is. And, you know, if you're a Swansea fan on the other side of the derby, you're probably thinking, when are they going to mention us?
But it was optional, though, wasn't it?
It was optional, but I just don't think it should have been an option, to be honest, because no other club gets that privilege. And, you know, we hear the Wrexham drum being banged enough already anyway, and I feel like Sky's role should be to, you know, steward the game properly and to be equal to all fans. And I don't feel like this is the sort of opportunity that you'd see being given to another club.
Where was Snoop Dogg? Snoop Dogg should have been on there with them, shouldn't he?
Exactly. Snoop Dogg and Luka Modric.
Snoop.
What a front two that would be, you know? In fact, on midfield two, probably. Yeah. You guys in front of them.
I tell you, look, one of the things I would say, I've been at Wrexham a couple of times. I saw them in the FA Cup. And it's not up for debate, and you've already mentioned it yourself. I mean, Rob McElhenney wasn't at the game, but I'll tell you what, Ryan Reynolds was there. and he was fantastic. He was brilliant with everybody before the game. He was getting photographs taken with kids. He was shaking hands, and then watching him. I think we had a camera on him watching him. There's a genuine passion for what he's involved in. I mean, and you're right. I think they do deserve at the same time an awful lot of credit for that.
Yeah, you know what? I always think a lot of football club, fans will probably cry out for owners like them too, because they really care. And I think I'll give them credit as well. They said they always leave the football to the football guys. They're not going to pretend to be the experts every time. They let the guys get on with the job there. So yeah, definitely big credit for that. If they go and get promoted to the Premier League, that would be a fantastic sporting story, whatever way you look at it. Because to take a team from the National League to there is unprecedented.
I tell you what, look, they've given themselves a little bit of a chance. They're sitting in the playoff places just now, 6th. I personally think it's probably a little bit too much for them this season, but they've got a chance.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, obviously we're expanding the playoffs next season, so if they don't get in this season, they stick a chance of that as well. But yeah, I think Millwall under Alex Neil, he's obviously got a promotion on his CV, or Ipswich or Middlesbrough, one of them's going to end up in it. And I think they'll be gutted if they don't make it up. But often, if you finish 3rd and you miss out on automatics, it could be hard to pick yourself up after that.
Definitely.
And that's maybe where a Wrexham type team can come in.
What about the game on Friday night? I can't lie to you, I didn't see it. How was it? I know it was a late on goal that effectively clinched it for Wrexham.
Yeah, pretty one-sided to Wrexham as far as the commentary was concerned. Pretty routine win, to be honest. I feel like there were certain moments where Swansea almost got going, but going there is always a difficult place to go. And Wrexham definitely showed a lot of quality.
Good stuff, mate. Look, thanks again for taking the time to join us this morning. You have a good week. That was thanks to McDonald's. Luke Power there, Daily Mail Sport Writing. Now, coming up, we're going to turn attention to the situation at Liverpool and whether Arne Slot is under real pressure.
Yeah, fellas, on talkSPORT with McDonald's. Got big McDonald's hunger? Order delivery on the McDonald's app today. From 11 a.m, 18 plus. Fees apply to delivery orders. Subject to availability. Price may vary.
In the past 10 years, on only one occasion has a side been on fewer points than Arsenal at this stage of the season. Leicester City, 63 points at this stage. Arsenal leading the Premier League on 67. Liverpool were also on 67 in 23-24, and they went on and finished 3rd that year. I mean, does the fact that they have got that 7-point gap right now over Manchester City give them a little bit more insulation? Because Leicester didn't have that, did they?
No, they didn't. It was. I mean, you can't compare those. You can't compare the seasons. That was just
crazy.
It was.
Yeah,
it was.
I still can't even believe that it happened now. Really,
I find it's fascinating how much stick Arsenal are getting for the style and the set plays and trying to compare previous winners.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, but it does.
It doesn't
obviously
matter
does.
To them.
It obviously does. Yeah, it doesn't to them, but it obviously does to so many people.
But that's just because people don't want Arsenal to win it. That's got nothing to do with the fact that they really care about the style.
Are we really looking across the other teams and going, "Wow, what a team"?
No, there's not.
They're so good to watch.
And going, no, I would prefer them to be.
No,
champions.
I would say the league as a whole this season has been
average.
Yes. Yeah, and you can see it's evolving. The stats will tell you it's evolving, especially in an athletic way for these teams. It's much more competitive than it's ever been before. It's not about how you do it, it's about whether you do it.
Aguero, Solskjaer, Deeney, Watkins. Sure, you know all about those last-minute goals, but have you heard the one about the on-loan goalkeeper who saved his temporary employers from disappearing out the Football League and into almost certain financial oblivion? Back in 1999, Carlisle United, managed by Nigel Pearson, were fighting to stay in the Football League. Carlisle's finances were precarious with a capital P that season, leading to a scenario where, with 3 games to go, they had to ask the FA to sanction an emergency loan deal to bring in a goalkeeper. Swindon Town's Jimmy Glass arrived at the club. His efforts in his first 2 games earned the Cumbrians 2 draws. Those vital points meant that Carlisle went into their final game of the Division 3 season, now League 2, needing to beat mid-table Plymouth Argyle in front of their own fans and hope their relegation rival Scarborough didn't win against Peterborough at home. The game at the McCain Stadium finished 1-1, and with the same scoreline at Brunton Park deep into injury time, Scarborough's fans invaded the pitch en masse, believing their Football League status was secure, convinced they'd done enough to stay up. However, there'd be one more plot twist. Carlisle won a corner in the dying seconds, and up came Jimmy Glass. In one of those you couldn't make it up moments, Glass scored from a rebounded header and was promptly swamped by teammates and thousands of fans who quite simply couldn't believe what they'd just witnessed. As for Jimmy Glass, he became an overnight celebrity, but he never played for Carlisle again, and his playing career never really kicked on after that defining moment. He took on various jobs outside of football before finding his way back into the sport as player liaison officer at Eddie Howe's Bournemouth, and most recently the general manager at non-league Wimborne. Not the fairy tale ending to one of the most Hollywood moments in football, but the name Jimmy Glass will live on forever as the scorer of that goal, arguably the most important in any club's history.
Yep, here we go, right enough. It is Monday the 16th of March, it's 4 minutes past 7. This is talkSPORT Breakfast with Arnold Clark. Browse the UK's best used car deals and score your dream car today. Check out the website for more details. Alan Gabby with you this morning. Now, I'm going to tell you what we've got coming up for you this morning. A brilliant show, that is guaranteed. 3-time Six Nations winner and former England head coach Eddie Jones will join us shortly to break down that dramatic finale in Paris and England's worst Six Nations campaign ever. Having said that, I've got to say I didn't see it all, but they looked as though they played a lot better in that game against the French. The drama was unbelievable. Ireland obviously having a good victory over Scotland, which I enjoyed. Wales, terrific against Italy. I think it's been an absolutely one of the best Six Nations I've seen, Gabby, and I'm looking forward to having a chat with Eddie, and he might tell us otherwise, but I don't think so.
Ireland needed a favour, didn't they, of England? But
they did. They did, mate. And later, former F1 team principal Gunther Steiner will react to Kimi Antonelli's Grand Prix win and whether Formula One's new rules are helping or hurting the sport. Well, Max Verstappen is not too impressed, I can tell you that. All that and more to come. But first, Liverpool season to another wobble after dropping more points in the race for Champions League football. 90th minute equaliser from Richarlison stunned Liverpool at Anfield and earned Spurs a massive point in their relegation fight. Midfield midfielder Dominic Szoboszlai admitted the squad need to, quote, wake up, saying if performance like this continue, they'll be lucky to make the Conference League. After the game, Liverpool boss Arne Slot reacted to the full-time boos.
I think and expect it was aimed towards the team, which I can completely understand, because I think if you don't feel the frustration after dropping points at home against Tottenham or in such a poor run of form, if you are not frustrated, if it's so for so many times this season the team doesn't perform at the levels you are used to, for so many times this season that we are conceding a late goal, so many times this season at home that we drop points, I think it's completely normal that at a certain moment they are frustrated. And it's not only them that are frustrated, it's the players and me as well. And so, yeah, I don't know, but I can understand completely if they were frustrated by us dropping points today.
Incredible start here, Gab. Liverpool have conceded 21 goals after the 75th minute in games across all competitions. And it was funny, Gab, because at the start of the season they were scoring late goals.
And also, Ali, Liverpool have conceded 8 Premier League goals in the 90th minute or later. That's the most in any season since the Premier League started.
It's incredible, mate. I'm going to go to the lines because I want to hear. I want to get a couple of calls in. I think we've got a couple of Liverpool fans here. 03717 22 3344 is the number to call. And somebody who has done just that is Chris. Chris, good morning, mate.
Good morning, Chris.
Morning, boys. How are we?
We're in top form, Chris. Thanks for joining us, mate. Concerning times for Liverpool fans, yeah?
Oh, concerning. It's traumatising out. What was that stat that Ali that Gab's just dropped? Eight goals in the last 90 minutes.
In the 90th minute or later, this campaign.
It's shocking. That is absolutely shocking. That's a Spurs kind of tactic, and we couldn't even beat them. What's going on? This geezer needs to be gone, surely. What do you boys reckon? He needs to go.
I think he's got enough in the bank after last year, mate. I do. I understand the disappointment.
Oh no! You can't. No. What? He won the league with Klopp's team. Everybody knows that. It's been said multiple times.
Right? Wait a minute, Chris. How can he win the team? How can he win the league with Klopp's team when Klopp's team couldn't win the league? He's won the team with he's won the league with a team that couldn't win the league with Klopp under Klopp.
He's won the. He's jumped in. He's come in first season. Who did he bring in? What players did he bring in?
Well, I accept that. But you can't come in. You can't tell me that he's won the league with Klopp's team when Klopp's team hadn't won the league. So that's actually a compliment to him.
He's won the league, right, with a team playing Klopp mentality football. How's that sound?
Better.
The way we played under Klopp is head and shoulders completely different to the way we're playing under Arne. I don't think he knows his strongest 11. Why he doesn't start Rio more games than he does?
Chris, do you know the problem as well, Chris? In the summer, the players that you've lost, and the one that stands out for me is Diaz. I mean, I don't know why you let him go. What he could do on the ball, defensively, pressing.
I couldn't agree more with you there, Gabby. I couldn't agree more with you. Why we let him go is...
I'm with you.
And also, Liverpool fans, Liverpool Football Club, Arne Slot did not think that Van Dijk and especially Salah would drop off as much as they have. You know, the Isak injury. So you have to look at like Liverpool as well. Of like they've spent a lot of money, but Frimpong's been injured.
There's a lot of things behind the scenes going on. Obviously, like you just said, you know, the injuries and losing players, losing Diogo. I know a lot of Liverpool fans keep going back to that and whatnot. All right,
big mate.
Yeah,
massive.
20,
Massive.
You know, but Salah's drop off is unacceptable.
Yeah.
Virgil's not anywhere near as good as he used to be. McAllister yesterday looked like he was trying far too. Mez was lost. You know, Alisson's making silly mistakes.
Yeah. All right, Chris, listen, mate, I appreciate the call. I've got to move on.
Yes.
Thanks very much for taking the time to call us, mate. Have a good week.
Thank you, mate.
Johnny is now, you find it as slow as genuinely under pressure as Liverpool FC reporter for Liverpool.com. Matt Addison. Matt, good morning.
Good morning, Matt.
Morning, guys. You all right?
Well, in good form, Matt. Will you tell us, is he under pressure?
Well, I think that the boos at the end of the game at Anfield told their own story, really. He's obviously under pressure. You're always under pressure when you're Liverpool manager and you're not winning games. And I think more than that, they're just not playing very exciting football at the moment. They're not playing a game that you think you can sort of get behind as a supporter. And I think that is as much of a problem as the results, really. There is still a decent chance that Liverpool get in the Champions League places. They're still in a decent position, even though they drew. They've gained a bit of ground on Newcastle and Aston Villa. But even if they get over the line at the moment, it feels like it's limping over the line rather than
Matt,
playing.
is it as well, Matt, winning the league so comfortably last season and then spending so much money in the summer with Isak, with Ekitike coming in, and Liverpool are now 21 points behind the leaders Arsenal. That's not acceptable, is it?
No, it's not. It's not what anybody thought was going to happen. I think there are, as you guys have just mentioned there's reasons for that. And I think you almost had to expect a little bit of a transitional season when you make as many changes as Liverpool did last summer. But there's no doubt that, on a slot, I think there are mitigations for why these things are happening, but also should be at the same time getting more from the players that he's got. You mentioned Salah and McAllister a second ago. There's loads of other players. Cody Gakpo is nowhere near the level that he was last season.
Yeah.
There's a whole host of reasons. So I'm really torn on it in terms of, you mentioned, is Arne Slot under pressure? I think the pressure is to get more from the players he's got, but also Liverpool have got a little bit of an unbalanced squad. They lack pace and width and quality in wide areas. There's obviously been shortages at centre-back and right-back as well this season. So it's a little bit of everything, I think, for Liverpool at the moment.
It's funny, Matt, because the one standout is the drop in form in Salah. As I say, he has been one of the best players we've seen in years in the country. Never mind the league; he's just been different class. But the drop off is there, and it was really evident. I watched him against Wolves, mate. I was at the Wolves game, and I'm looking at Rio Ungamoa on the left hand side. He's young. He's got that freedom that young players have, whether it's Dowman, they want to express themselves, they're fearless. And I'm looking at them going and take people on, and I'm thinking, what a talent we've got there. Then I'm looking on the other side, and I'm looking at Salah, and it's a bizarre thing to say, but it just looks as though there's a lack of confidence there, which it's a ridiculous thing to say with one of the best players in the world.
Yeah, I'm not sure whether it's confidence. I think it's just he's lost that little yard of pace. Last season he's still got that. He's creating a bit of a chance for himself to get a shot away or make the right pass. And we know, technically how good a player he is. I think he's always been underrated in terms of his creativity, really. Salah in those positions. He set up a lot of goals last season as well as scoring. And I just think he hasn't got that this season. He's not able to get away from his man. There's been one or two occasions, even in the first half yesterday against Tottenham, there was once or twice where you think Liverpool have got that little bit of extra speed just from Ngamoa and Jeremy Frimpong as well, who came in. But yeah, compared to Salah, I think it's just that acceleration, I think, to get away from his man. And instead of having that extra yard of space, that extra split second that he was able to give himself last season, he's now got two or three players around him that the passes are sort of going into a defender rather than being able to go and play somebody in. So it's just that split second, really. I mean, you guys will know better than me in terms of, when you get that little bit older, it's split seconds. It's not much, I think. Not much has changed for Mo Salah, but when you are at that level, that split second can make a big difference.
I think as well, Matt, when you look at Liverpool's goals this season, 49 goals they've scored, Chelsea 53, Man City 60, Arsenal 61, and their top goal scorer is Ekitike with 11. Then you're at Gakpo with 6. Then you're Salah at 5, Szoboszlai with 4, Wirtz with 4. That's not good enough, is it, for a club like Liverpool to have just like an Ekitike on 11? Then your next is Gakpo at 6.
Yeah, I mean, they've been unlucky, I think, with Isak, but yeah, it's not good enough. The goals from wide areas last season, obviously Salah is an obvious one. Cody Gakpo, I think, gets 18 or 19 in all competitions last season. That's a big drop off. And Florian Wirtz has, I think, started to come good really in the last few weeks. Obviously, has had a little injury recently, but I think the tools are there. They just haven't quite been enough good bits of play in that final third. To go back to what I said at the start, they don't look like they've got sets a style of play really in the final third. It all looks a little bit individual. It all looks a little bit like it's on one or two players to do something special rather than.
What about Trent?
You go back.
How big of a miss is Trent? Because he was so crucial to the way Liverpool attacked.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he was always going to be a big miss. I think that's part of the reason why they went and got Florian Wirtz, really, to reshape that attack. But it's changed the emphasis of Liverpool. It's moved the emphasis away from Mo Salah, probably, to some extent. And it was always just going to take a little bit of time. I think, the tools are there. All the players that Liverpool bought last summer, Ekitike, Wirtz, Frimpong, Kirkes, they're all good players. I think ultimately it was just probably too much at once for them to be able to cope and make that transition successfully. I think all of those players in time will be good for Liverpool. It just hasn't happened yet, and it probably is on a slot to a certain extent that it should have probably happened a little bit quicker.
I'm up on Wednesday, Matt. I think they'll be fine against Galatasaray. I don't expect any shocks here, mate. Thanks for your time this morning, mate. You have a good week. Now, coming up, we're going to ask you a question. This is Max Dowman's winner against Everton, an iconic title-deciding goal, or are Arsenal fans getting carried away again?
Isn't it strange that we get 6 sides that every single English side went through? Newcastle were the only side that had to qualify via the playoff system.
Yeah.
But not one English side in the Premier League. And we like to think that we are. And I think there is a bit of arrogance. I do subscribe to that point of view. But is there something in the fact that maybe the Premier League is so demanding? So, for example, right, PSG this weekend have had their game cancelled to play Chelsea so that they have the rest between that they played last night and the next time they're going to play is against Chelsea on Tuesday. Look, I don't see us turning it around at all, but we play Newcastle on Saturday. The league is demanding, or is that me just kind of making excuses for the Premier League?
No. Do you know what? Also, you got to look at this. So I understand what you're saying. You're not making excuses for the Premier League, but the Premier League might need to start working with the football clubs.
How's that going to work?
League. Well, Liga 1 done it. They moved games, cancelled the game to fit it into the PSG schedule to make it easier on the players.
Yeah, but here's the problem.
They want to retain the Champions League.
Yes.
It's a prestige trophy.
Of course.
So if your league has got that, so a team from your league has got the Champions League, it just makes you more prestige.
Here's the issue that's going to happen. Here's the problem, is that there have been examples of managers complaining, and I think some unfairly at times, about playing on a Wednesday and then playing on a Saturday 12:30 kickoff. Klopp.
Hello and welcome to talkSPORT Goals. We've been taking you through what should be another busy day of football.
Chance to win it!
We don't need to do that, guys.
I'm going to owe you an apology.
How would you get to that conclusion? That's a weak mentality.
Oh, get out of it.
go. This is talkSPORT Breakfast. This Monday, the 16th of March, 7:21. It is Ali and Gabby with you this morning. Why are we playing this? Well, I'll tell you why, Gabby. It's an interesting one. Congratulations to England and Premier League legend Ashley Cole, who's landed his first job in management with Serie B side Cesena. Brilliant.
Amazing.
Previous to this, Cole has been a first-team coach under Frank Lampard at Derby and Everton, as well as under Wayne Rooney at Birmingham, and the England senior and under-21 setups. It's no surprise that he's now gone into management. Yes. Long awaited. I think it's marvellous. I'm really looking forward to seeing how he does, because I'll tell you something, Gab. One heck of a player, by the way.
Wow.
That's one of the best, right? No doubt about it. What a fullback, tremendous.
The best left back in Premier League history.
You might be right, mate. Yeah, I would not disagree with that. He's given himself a bit of time. He's learned his trade, and he's now. I love the fact that he's taking his first job abroad as well, mate.
What I like about it is that, like you says there, he's taking his time. You know, he's not demanded because he's Ashley Cole and I deserve a job straight away. He's done amazing with the 21s. The same with Birmingham City. The same with Derby County as well. And hopefully he does well. I think he's got a deal to the end of the season. Is that right?
Yeah, it'd be great.
Hopefully he does well and then continues. Happy for him.
I'm with you, mate. Absolutely delighted. Now we're moving back to Max Dowman territory. Olivia's back with us.
Yes, I am. Obviously, Max Dowman, we've spoken about it a lot, and I'm sure we're going to continue speaking about him becoming the youngest ever Premier League goal scorer. But the question is that goal a title-defining moment? A bit like these ones.
Balotelli, Aguero!
Getting away from Coquelin, who ends up on his backside. Eden Hazard now up against Koscielny, bundles through. It's absolutely brilliant.
Oh, and Gerrard slipped, and Denver Barr's in here. Out comes Mignolet, but Barr punishes of all people. Steven Gerrard. Son is steaming through. It's Son against the goalkeeper. Oh, he's missed it. What a chance to put Arsenal back in control of the title race.
So, when we say title-defining moments, I'll give you a little bit of context. So, scrolling on X, as you do, and Dougie Critchley. Now, I love Dougie. People will know Dougie out there. He's a European football expert, but works on Sky. And Dougie came out and said, you know, iconic Premier League title-deciding moments. Aguero's goal, Gerrard's slip, that save from Son, that goal from Dowman becoming the youngest in the history of the Premier League in the final moments to send Arsenal 10 clear. Could be it. I have a few questions. So you already will have heard some of them in that clip we just played. You could argue the Steve Bruce header for United against Sheffield Wednesday in the inaugural Premier League season. Those two goals, but the header to make it 2-1. Obviously United going on to win the league. The Hazard goal against Spurs, Battle of the Bridge, a title-defining moment. It gave it to Leicester.
Leicester, of course,
Listen, it's an iconic moment in Premier League history. There's absolutely no doubt about it. But it's not title-defining. Arsenal were already 10 points clear before that goal was scored.
Correct.
Ali, would you agree?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, listen, let's put it into perspective here, right? If we're talking about moments, iconic moments and title-winning seasons, right, everything is playing second fiddle to Aguero.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Everything is playing second fiddle. So we're now having a conversation, what's second best? Listen, I'm delighted for him. He looks a real talent. But there's still a good bit to go, right? But I did say, I think, you know, the importance of the goal, mentally, the effect it would have in Manchester City, and it looked to have an effect on it. And I think that Arsenal, I still saying, I've said it for a while, that Arsenal will go on and win the league. But I'm not sure. By the way, you could argue Gyökeres's goal was more defining than Dowman's.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It was.
I think it's excitement, isn't it? Maybe of some people in the media that 16-year-old, youngest ever Premier League goal scorer. Amazing for him, by the way, and he took it very well. But iconic Premier League goal, even not for me. Iconic Premier League moments. That's what I've written down as well.
Yeah.
You go to Cantona's kick against Wimbledon, Ali.
Yes.
In the fans.
Yes.
You go to Rooney's goal for Everton against Arsenal at 16. Kevin
Correct.
Keegan's rant. So I've took it to a different level of iconic moments, not just goals. Happy for the kid, but yeah, let's calm down a bit.
I was going to say, I think we all just. I heard you say it,
Take a
Ali.
deep breath.
He's an incredible talent. There's no doubt about it. But the kid's played 43 minutes of football.
Correct.
How are
By
we
the way,
talking about him
listen.
potentially getting an England call-up?
Exactly. Listen, everybody just take a step back, at ease, and calm down. Let the kid go and play. You know, he didn't even. The most iconic goal of the weekend was Gyökeres's. It wasn't Max Dowman's.
Yeah.
That's how much everybody's getting carried away. I mean, if Gyökeres doesn't score, Max Dowman doesn't get his goal because the goalkeeper's not going up into the penalty box for a corner and things like that. So listen, he's a great young kid, a great talent, but just let's everybody let's not put undue pressure on him.
Ali? I think it's going to be difficult for him as well to get the game time. He's not at a club that haven't got top players.
That's what I'm, mate.
Madueke, Saka, Trossard, Martinelli, Havertz.
I'm with you.
It's not going to be easy for him to get those minutes.
No, it's not. And he's obviously only got 8 Premier League games to show it. And because Arsenal are going for all 4, they're going to be playing their strongest team in every single game they play.
Correct.
So Max Dowman is probably not. He's probably going to get the same amount of minutes he got against Everton again, and that's just not enough. And listen, he's so young that. To be talking about this is just wild. Listen, it's an iconic moment for sure. We will be looking back in years to come and going, "Wow, that was he's the youngest ever Premier League goal scorer." We're not going to look back in 5 years and go, "That was the goal that won Arsenal the league."
Do you know his best chance? His best chance of getting game time is actually if they can manage to win the league with 3 or 4 games to go.
Yes.
Then that's when he'll get his. Because he won't start him again in Champions League games that are absolutely vital. I wouldn't have thought. I mean, the manager might prove me wrong, but I don't think he's going to start ahead of the guys that we've mentioned. His best time of getting game time is in the Premier League if they can wrap
even
up.
in the summer, and you look at next season, Wanyeri's got to come back as well.
Yeah.
He's ahead of him in the pecking order, top player as well. So he's done amazing. Really happy for him, but now concentrate on school and your exams.
Yeah, you need to do that, Max. You need to. I wonder how he's going to be walking into school today.
I know.
Ridiculous.
I think I'd wear a snapback.
I don't know what I'd do.
Yeah,
I don't know what
I'd
I'd
wear
do
a
if
cap.
that was me. Obviously, you mentioned the Rooney goal.
Yeah.
A lot of people have been comparing the two. Obviously, Wayne Rooney, he was 16 years and 356 days. He came on, obviously, in the 80th minute against Arsenal. We know what happened. Put one in the top bins, hit the crossbar on the way in. Can they be compared?
No.
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 Not at all?
No. Let's stop.
No.
Aye. I mean, I'm with you,
No,
Gabby.
no.
Right, we're all getting carried away here. By the way, Wayne Rooney's one of the best. I feel sorry for Max Dowman.
I know.
Gabby, you know what I mean?
I know.
Everybody's getting, and I don't want to throw water on the fire, and we seem to be doing it. But let's just take a step back, let the kid grow up and enjoy himself and get back in the team and get game time. Let's not compare him yet to. I mean, was Alan comparing him to Messi or something?
Yeah, I heard.
JT, wasn't it?
JT said he's the best dribbler since Messi, which is wild because
You said that,
Eden Hazard played for JT's own team, and the ball stuck to his foot. Neymar, I think of dribbling.
JT, come on. I mean, JT is a man that normally talks a lot of sense. But I'm going to have to dig him up here. JT, come on, calm down.
Okay, Ali, what about Henry Winter comparing him to Kaka?
Right, if you start, let's carry on. I'm going to break, right? I'm going to break.
Total different players, by the way.
He's a good young player. Right, guys, thank you very much. Coming up, if Gabby hasn't got enough stick this morning.
Ronaldinho as well.
I've got bad news for you back. But hey, Gabby, talkSPORT's chief football correspondent and big United fan, Alex Crook, will be joining us to give us his lowdown.
How many teams does he support? Portsmouth, Southampton? I can't keep up, Ali.
It's coming up next, mate.
if you're taking out form right now, it has to be Harvey Barnes.
Yeah.
I mean, every time he steps on the pitch, I don't think he's going to score. He's so powerful and so quick. When he runs, it's almost like, oh my goodness, you're not catching him.
Yeah.
And that's where Thomas Tuchel, because I mentioned Barnes, Gordon, Rashford, Foden. You then got Palmer. I'm talking about attacking 10 attacking options.
Yeah.
You've got Palmer, Saka, Madueke, Bowen, Bellingham can play 10. Rodgers can play left.
Yeah.
I mean, there are going to be some big names on that list that don't go.
Yeah, but annoyingly, out of all of those players, none of them are really smashing it at the moment. Rodgers maybe is doing pretty well. Bellingham's been out injured.
Yeah.
Nothing from Foden.
No,
Cole Palmer's gone a little bit cold.
Yeah. Saka's not, obviously the numbers haven't been there. Madueke's in and out. But
isn't that bizarre? If we were doing this World Cup a year ago, we'd be buzzing with those players.
But and as I said, Barnesy.
Barnesy, giving the old John Barnesy Barnesy.
Yeah, Harvey Barnes. He's right now he's probably in the best form out of all of them.
On the left-hand side, Rashford was on the bench last night, right?
Yeah.
Who starts for England on the left for you out of those two, Rashford and...
Oh, Rashford would be first, because Rashford for England's been good.
He does?
Yeah.
Does that matter? It's a good point you make. Does that matter? If you're really good for England, but you're not doing it at club level, and some players are like that...
Danny Welbeck was a prime example of that.
Okay. Does your league form matter too much when the manager knows when you put the English shirt on, you perform?
Yeah, I think for certain players, I think it does matter. Because, again, a prime example was the last Euros, not the one in Germany, the one before that, sorry.
Yeah.
Where we was all saying Sterling can't go, his form wasn't there, and he was our best player.
That's a great point.
But you know what Sterling's going to get experience, you know exactly that when it's the highest, he can step up.
Boxing. It's a sport that makes multi-millionaires out of the world's best fighters, but it's not as flush with cash as you'd think. We all see how much the likes of Tyson Fury or Canelo Alvarez make every fight, but that's not the case for those just starting out, or those who aren't even at that level. For example, if you've just turned pro and don't have a promoter, you have to sell your own tickets, cover the cost of the venue yourself, and pay the tax man at the end of it. You might not even break even, but if you do, you're looking at 5 to 10 grand max. A mid-tier fighter might make more like 10 to 50 grand, but you still have to give up half of that in costs. So unless you're fighting for a world title, it's tough to make money. One potential way of doing it, though, is being a journeyman. Here's former European champion talkSPORT's Spencer Oliver explaining how that could work.
They want to fight every week, and they can be going in against the prospects, so they can demand good money, and they might be demanding like 5 grand, 10 grand for a 6-rounder or something because they're going in with a prospect. He gets through that, the journeyman gets through that fight, and he can fight again next week.
I mean, even so, it's not much, and you're getting punched in the face for a job. It's only really at the top level, i.e. fighting for titles, where you're earning up to 6 figures and can afford a diamond chain or that Ferrari. So boxing isn't a sport that allows you to retire at 40 and live a life of luxury. Much like a lot of other sports and jobs in general, it takes an awful lot of luck quite early in your career to really make it worth your while.
Okay, Monday the 6th of March, 7:35. Gabby, you should leave the building because the Aston Villa slide shows no signs of letting up, I'm afraid.
What's that, mate?
I'm just talking about Villa. I'm giving you a bit...
Why?
Well, I just think it's only fair
Why,
because...
Ali? When there's so much bigger talking points of Chelsea, you know, having 24 shots and scoring 0 goals. Chelsea's defence. Liverpool's poor performance second half.
I can imagine you sitting in your room last night saying, right, he's going to come for me, so I better get some ammunition to fire back. No, but to be fair to you, mate,
they're struggling, mate.
Yeah, but what I will say to you is this, and to be honest with you, mate, you've kind of predicted it for the last 2 weeks.
Yes.
You've seen it coming, mate, so it's not a surprise, has it?
Do you know when we talk about Liverpool's Ali scoring 49 goals and City 60 and Arsenal 61, Chelsea 53, Aston Villa 40 goals.
I saw that, mate.
That's incredible, Ali. That's the same as Spurs.
Wow.
Leeds United have scored 37. West Ham have scored 36, but 40 goals for Aston Villa. And yesterday, Watkins, no confidence. When he gets 1v1, he had a chance to get past Maguire, loses the ball. Rodgers was giving the ball away a bit too much yesterday. Buendia offers 0. Leon Bailey comes on, offers less than 0.
I know, mate.
And a lot of the players that are playing at the moment, Ali, have been at the club for far too long.
Yeah.
And that was the oldest, by the way, Mr. McCoist. Aston Villa fielded their oldest starting 11 since 2012.
Was it really?
Yes.
I'm loving more than anything. Not even that start. I'm just loving your preparation to know that start, mate. You're all
Ali,
over it, mate.
29 years of age was the average age of Aston Villa starting 11, and that's not like Villa.
No, mate.
Abraham comes on, doesn't look like the Tammy Abraham of old. I think they've got a lot of problems, Ali, and John McGinn, big plus while he was on the pitch, him being back. Tielemans might be back after the international break. But when I look at the squad of players that we've got, Ali, Sancho wasn't available last night. Apart from Rodgers, I don't see a player who can get past the man.
I know you
and I've been having this conversation with so many people. And I go back to my time, Ali. I wasn't a great finisher. But you know what I could do, Ali? I could get past the player.
Yeah, and
I will get 1v1. I'm taking you on every time.
Gabby, that's what I've said. It's the most important thing in the game, man.
Yeah.
If you've got a wide man that can take somebody on, you buy them, the whole picture changes. The whole thing, it's different. Okay, mate, listen, the back page of this morning, son, Wayne Rooney, let Michael carry on. Wayne Rooney sold in the argument in Carrick, has earned the United job already, but fellow legend Roy Keane stands by his opinion that they need to look elsewhere. Joining us now for the latest is talkSPORT chief football correspondent, the one and only Alex Crook. Crookie, a very good morning, sir.
Good morning, Crookie.
Good morning, Ali. What a wonderful morning. Good morning, Gabs. You good?
Morning, mate. Looking cosy, Alex?
Looking very smug this fine morning. Have you written to Howard Webb yet? Because that's what you did last time. You got your pants pulled
If that goal was disallowed by Barkley, I would have done more than wrote to Howard Webb. I would have went to Stockley Park, definitely. Straight there this morning, Crookie.
You got away with one there because you can see that unless there was a massive gust of wind,
Go away.
the ball brushes his shorts. Should have been
Get
pulled
lost,
out.
Alex. Stop. But Man United were definitely the better team, weren't they, Crookie?
Yeah, they were, and I commentated Villa for talkSPORT 2 on Thursday. Decent win away from home in the Europa League, but
poor opposition.
I thought Lille were a really poor side. And you're right to highlight the lack of goals, because even though Villa were comfortable in that game, they didn't create that many scoring opportunities. And I think you've now scored 7 goals in your last 9. So obviously that's a major issue that Unai Emery has got to address. And I'm not saying this to wind you up, Gabs. I think you've been quite public. You don't think Villa are going to finish in a Champions League place. If Brentford were to win tonight, are you a bit concerned that maybe even that Europa League place might be a struggle?
Okay, they'll be on 47 points. I think they do win tonight, Brentford. 47 points, 4 points behind us. I said, Crookie, next week, if I'm West Ham, have a go. Because Villa at the moment are fragile. They're there for the taking.
Yeah, they are, and I feel a little bit for Unai Emery, because obviously this time last year in the January window, you brought in the likes of Marcus Rashford and Marcus Asensio. You really went for it to try and get that Champions League place. Obviously, didn't work out. This year, I've got to say I was underwhelmed by what you did. You know, Douglas Luiz, I know he knows the football club, but Nottingham Forest didn't want him. Juventus didn't want him. You've got to ask why. Tammy Abraham playing in Turkey, again, not the type of signing I think that inspired me. So I do think Unai Emery's hands are tied behind his back to a certain extent, and you wonder, come the end of the season,
He'll be gone, mate.
If you don't get Champions League
He'll be
football,
gone.
well, not just him. I know Morgan Rogers has signed this new contract. I am digging around to try and find out if there is some kind of release clause in that contract, because he will have suitors at other clubs.
100%, and you know Morgan Rodgers is going to have a fantastic World Cup as well. If Aston Villa somehow don't get Champions League football, I think the manager goes. I think Morgan Rodgers is sold, and Aston Villa could end up a mid-table club, a Fulham. I really do think it's that important. If they do get Champions League football, manager stays, and the next 4 or 5 years will look so good for Aston Villa. That's how important it is, Crookie and Ali. And the players aren't really reading into that when I watch them play. It's like, guys, like, some of you think you're better than you are. Onana, 50 million. You're 6'6" or wherever you are. You're on the floor every second. Every time you're going for a tackle, everyone's thinking he's going to be out for 3 weeks. Like, poor players that Aston Villa have got. Leon Bailey, Aston Villa were that desperate. They had to go and get him from Roma when the manager doesn't even want him.
Yeah, I agree. On the flip side, though, what a job Michael Carrick's doing.
Crookie, I've got to say, mate, I've got it written down in front of me. I had to come into it because all joking aside, he has done a phenomenal job. I mean, Casemiro again, would you be talking him into trying to stay for another year? But let's talk about Fernandes. I mean, Šeško scoring again. Everything seems to be going in the right direction. Where do you sit with Michael Carrick right now? I mean, I'm of the opinion he will get the job, but I wouldn't give him it right now because I wouldn't rock the boat. I think that the one game a week's definitely helping, no doubt about that, Crookie. I would just let things take their natural course and give them the job at the end of the season when they qualify for the Champions League.
Yeah, it's interesting that Roy Keane's stance on this is very different to when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was caretaker manager, and you can't help but feel maybe there's some kind of personal situation there, personal grievance that Roy keeps airing in public. But in terms of the way United and Michael Carrick are conducting themselves, I think they're absolutely getting it right at this moment in time. So Jim Ratcliffe was at the Grand Prix at the weekend. One of the TV companies tried to get him to talk about Carrick getting the job beyond the end of the season. He didn't bite. Carrick himself in the press conferences is the master at just batting away those type of questions. So it's a decision that they'll have to make publicly at the end of the season. I'm sure privately conversations are taking place, not just with Carrick, but with other potential targets as well. But he can't do any more than he's doing. It'd be a big surprise now, I think, if United, with that 6-point gap to Chelsea and ahead of Villa and Liverpool now as well, if they didn't get a place in the Champions League. But just on Bruno Fernandes, he's got to be a contender for Player of the Year for me.
Definitely.
And he's on course to set a new record for the most assists in the Premier League. He's only 4 behind the joint record of 20 held by Thierry Henry and Kevin De Bruyne. He's scoring goals.
Definitely.
Obviously, the Player of the Year usually goes to title winners. Gabriel, I think, would be the favourite in terms of that Arsenal team. Maybe Declan Rice. But from an attacking perspective, I think Bruno Fernandes is just about the best in the Premier League.
What a waste of talent, though. Ali, being at a club that, not winning Premier Leagues, not winning Champions Leagues. A player of that quality, Ali, deserves to be at a team that are going to win the big trophies. Poor Bruno Fernandes. Get yourself out there in the summer.
Do you know what?
Get yourself to Bayern Munich.
I'm not going to nibble on that one, but what I will say, and I won't mention him by name because I've taken a vow, but it does show how bad a job the previous manager was doing when you've got a creative talent like Bruno Fernandes and you stick him in a defensive midfield position. I mean, what on earth? He did his coaching badge with Gabby.
What chance did he have, Crookie?
That tells you all you need to know, Crookie.
We all failed, Ali. Everyone on the course.
Brilliant. Crookie, where are you this week, mate? Where's your football this week taking you?
I'm here, there and everywhere, Ali. I've got an Ali McCoy's week. I'm at Pompey Derby tonight. Big game in the Championship. I'm at Chelsea tomorrow. Tottenham on Wednesday. I've got Forest on Thursday. Going to go down to Bournemouth United Friday, and then the cup final at the weekend.
Brilliant, mate. Absolutely fantastic.
Deserved.
Enjoy it, pal. Well done.
Cheers, boys.
Thank
you,
mate.
Chief football correspondent. Thank you.
Nice son, boy. Right, still to come at breakfast this morning.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. Download the new improved app to easily manage your accounts and quotes.
Okay, Liverpool fans, we want to hear from you this morning. You know the drill, 03717 223344. Jamie Carragher reckons that Arne Slot deserves to be under pressure after that performance against Spurs yesterday. Is that fair? Now here's an interesting one as well. Coming up next, what did Liam Rossinier mean by this?
My players made a decision that they wanted to be around the ball, to respect the ball.
Not sure. I'm not sure. Right. I'll get a full explanation for you after the break, Gabby. That was our breakfast preview with Travis Perkins.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. Get free next day track delivery. Head to travisperkins.co.uk or download the app.
On this week's Inside Liverpool, winger Jermaine Pennant gave some of his own stats on Slot after hearing about the Dutchman winning 62 of those 100 in charge.
We've lost to Galatasaray twice without scoring a goal. They finished 20th in the league phase. We've lost both to Man City and Man United at Anfield. We've lost 4-1 to PSV. Then the next game after that, 3-0 to Forest at home, both games at Anfield. We failed to beat Leeds twice this season. We failed to beat all three promoted teams at Anfield. We've lost 3 times to Crystal Palace this season. Lost to Wolves, Brentford, and Bournemouth away. Now, I don't know who you blame for that. I don't know if you blame the players or the manager, but hearing that is absolutely shocking. As current Premier League champions, that is dreadful.
Jermaine Pennant there on Inside Reds. And if you want to watch the latest Inside series, all the episodes are available on talkSPORT's YouTube channel. That's all thanks to BetMGM 18+. BeGambleAware.org.
Inside series on talkSPORT with BetMGM. Watch the latest Inside series episode live on talkSPORT's YouTube channel now. 18+, GambleAware.org.
Are those fair stats for Jermaine Pennant to use in his argument against Arne Slot?
Well, they are facts, aren't they? So, and it depends on the standard which you judge Liverpool by, and them standards have certainly dropped a long way below what was set last season.
Hello and welcome to talkSPORT Goals. We're taking you through what should be another busy day of football.
Chance to win it!
We don't need to do that, guys.
I'm going to owe you an apology.
How would you get to that conclusion? That's a weak mentality.
Oh, get out of it.
Okay, Monday the 16th of March at 7:50. This is talkSPORT Breakfast. Ali and Gabby with you this morning. What do we know this Monday morning? Let me tell you, Liverpool's Dominic Szoboszlai has spoken up against his teammates, saying we have to wake up because if we carry on like this, we should be... we're lucky with the Conference League, in fact. I don't know why this is happening, he says. Also, Matt Fitzpatrick, unlucky, missed an 8-foot putt for party hand American Cameron Young, the Players' Championship, and quite a dramatic finale to that particular tournament. And Forest winger Dan Ndoye had a second-half goal chalked off by VAR in their 0-0 draw against Fulham, but a point was enough to get his side out the relegation zone on goal difference, despite the decision going in his side's favour. Fulham boss Marco Silva said VAR is clearly affecting how the game is experienced by fans in stadiums.
It's changing the emotions of the game, and I agree with you. Probably now you have a chance to celebrate twice when the goal is valid, because you celebrate once and after you celebrate the second because wow, the goal is okay and you have to celebrate in some moments. I agree. I'm a little bit laughing with the situation, but of course I understand about the emotions of the game. That emotions you stand up from the seat and you celebrate, and after come a situation is being okay. But they are the rules. The people change the rules to be more assertive in these moments, to put the machines in these situations, and of course you have to accept.
He's got a point, Gab, hasn't he?
Well, I'd hate to play now. You score a goal and you run off. The assistant referee hasn't got the flag up. You run off. You could go and grab something from the bench, Ali, do a celebration for 2 minutes, come back and the goal's disallowed. It's like, oh, okay, thanks.
Gabby, back in the day, I swear to God, you know as well as I do, if you come onto a goal, bang, back of the net, the first thing I used to do, check a linesman. Right? As long as he's not got his flag up, you're away. And that was it.
Exactly.
Let the celebration begin. And it's all changed, mate.
I remember scoring a goal, Ali, and my friend who played for Wolves had just been leukemia.
Yeah.
The diagnosis of leukemia, right?
Yes.
So I had a shirt ready, scored a goal, ran over, grabbed the shirt, done a celebration with it.
Yep.
Imagine now.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Oh, it's offside, or there was an incident 3 minutes ago. Oh, okay, I'll do that celebration next time I score. That's the problem.
But
like,
I think
you
his
can't
point.
celebrate
No,
properly.
his point's right. I mean, it's players and fans alike. You know, even the fans.
Yes.
The celebrations are kind of half-hearted because you've got to wait and see.
Throw your beer and then it's disallowed. All right, we'll go get another one.
Oh, man. And don't forget, we'll be getting the thoughts of former Premier League referee Chris Fotty, unpack all the controversial VAR decisions over the weekend. Olivia's back with us. Olivia, how are you? What you got for us today?
Right, we're going to talk... All right, ruin it for me. Yes, we are going to talk about this Chelsea huddle that has caused so much controversy, and so many people are talking about it. You might have heard it just before the break. But if you didn't, let's hear from Liam Rosenior and his reasoning as to why Chelsea did this huddle.
My players made a decision that they wanted to be around the ball, to respect the ball, and show unity and leadership. That is not my decision. That was a decision between a leadership group and a team. There is nothing that they're doing with that huddle that is disrespectful to the opposition. And do you know what's amazing? Before the game, it wasn't me. We had a meeting with the referee. My assistant goes in. The first thing he talks about is our huddle. And he says about when I complained about Arsenal being in our half. It wasn't the goalkeeper coach that was in our half, and people who were at that game at Arsenal know why I said what I said. We're not being disrespectful to the opposition. If Paul had focused more on his job, which was to make the right decision, we have a penalty today.
What are you thinking, guys?
After you, Olivia. Chelsea fan.
In this situation, I don't think this is that deep, right? I don't understand why such a big deal has been made about it. I don't really care where people do their huddle. It doesn't really bother me. I think what was so funny was that Paul Tierney stood in the middle of it. It was giving me Donald Trump at the Club World Cup vibes when Cole Palmer was looking at him going,
it was bizarre.
What are you and that's what I think has made it even more bizarre, is that, the huddle was a bit weird to do it over the centre circle. They've done that against Wrexham, so they clearly want to do it going forward. Did it against Villa. From Rosenior in that situation, I would have just preferred him to have said, listen, it's the players' decision. They wanted to do it there, that's it.
Oh,
They're respecting the ball.
Ali, they want to respect the ball. but the ball didn't go in the back of the net after 22 shots. So maybe...
They gave it too much respect.
Maybe the huddle had too much respect for the ball, and then they didn't want to hit the ball too hard to get in the back of the net. Like, what's going on?
But the whole thing was bizarre, you know what I mean? I just thought it was bizarre, and it was silly, and it was daft, you know what I mean?
If I'm PSG, Ali...
Oh,
going 2 foot someone before the game. He was in the way of the ball when it's your kickoff. Like, get out of the way of the ball.
It was fairly ironic that, like Liam Rosenior was saying there, he did complain about Arsenal players being in his half and that it was disrespectful. Do you think it's disrespectful to the opposition doing
winding them up?
But is it disrespectful?
Doing a huddle?
Yeah, on the centre circle.
It's a wind-up, isn't it, Ali?
Oh, by the way, I'll be brutally honest with you, I wouldn't want them in my half.
Yeah.
So I think in that respect, I mean, the huddle's effectively a gimmick.
Okay, Ali,
you know
okay, then
it's a
Ali.
gimmick.
You're playing Ali against them, right? Against Chelsea. It's your kickoff. And you're waiting to take kick-off, and they're around the ball like they've done to Aston Villa.
Is it really that deep?
Are you going to be angry?
Yes.
Of course you are.
Yes, of course you. They shouldn't be in your half.
Well, it got into Aston Villa's heads quite clearly.
Yeah, I know, but I don't know whether it's a wind-up. I don't know whether it's a wind-up.
I think it must be a wind-up.
Yeah.
It's not got anything to do with respecting the ball, let's be honest.
Well, will they do it next game? Because
they will.
The ball wasn't respected enough.
Maybe they need to show the ball less respect, don't they?
Maybe hold the ball in their hands.
Yeah. Also, so Henry Winter on Sunday Edition said some of Liam Rosenior's decisions have been a little bit confusing. Now, obviously, the huddle is one, but I don't believe he's got anything to do with the decision to do the huddle. I believe it's the players. Yeah. Obviously, I mentioned it. He got annoyed. For Arsenal for warming up in their half. Obviously, he's come out with the ageing men comment previously that came out since. I think it's a little bit unfair. Do you agree with Henry Winter that some of his decisions have been a bit confusing? Because I'm looking at them and I'm like, I don't really know what decisions he's talking about. What decisions that he's made? Is it playing Reece James at centre mid, but Enzo Maresca did that? Is it swapping the goalkeepers? Is that a little bit confusing? But I think it's a little bit harsh to suggest that some of his decisions have been confusing.
Well, I'd be guessing because I'm with you a little bit. I don't know specifically what he's talking about. And he's obviously talking about one or two particular incidents, but he hasn't actually told us what they are. But no, I mean, I don't have a problem with him doing a huddle. I genuinely don't. Effectively, as I said, it's a gimmick just to get your fans behind you and kind of let the fans know that you're united and all that kind of nonsense. Do you know what I mean? So that's effectively what it is. But where I think they overstepped the mark is stepping in the opposition's half gap.
Do you know what I would have done, Ali?
Yeah.
If I was Newcastle, ended the game, I would have done a huddle in the middle of the pitch for banter.
Yeah.
It does make you look a bit silly when you don't go on and win the game.
Exactly. It happened on an occasion up at Ibrox, at Celtic Park one time, which we better gloss over because that one didn't end too well. Right, up next, we're taking calls from Liverpool fans. Have you lost faith in Arne Slot after that performance yesterday? You know the drill, guys. 03 717 22 3344. We're going for a short break.
Tottenham Hotspur have delayed season ticket renewals, which normally open by the 15th of March until the end of the season. A statement read this to season ticket holders yesterday. We recognise the seriousness of the current league position and following discussions with our fan advisory board and the Tottenham Hotspur Supporters Trust, we can confirm the renewal window for 2026-27 will now remain open for an extended period until Sunday, the 7th of June. And this is because, of course, relegation is a real threat now, and even the club are recognising that could be a possibility. This comes as TalkSport understands that Igor Tudor has already alienated much of the Spurs squad. His treatment of goalkeeper Antonin Kinski during Tuesday night's hammering at Atletico Madrid did not go down with the dressing room. First of all, Crook, why don't you tell us, because you're the inside man here, what you understand the state of play to be?
I think a lot of the senior Spurs players, if you like, already have big reservations about Igor Tudor and his man management, and those were only exasperated by what happened with Kinski. I thought it was quite pointed. Jed Spence was also not acknowledged by his manager when he went off and came back and made a very public display of shaking his hand. So I think this is an appointment that is unravelling very quickly. I believe that conversations have taken place already between Spurs and potential other managers. Sean Dyche has been mentioned in the last 72 hours or so, but I think he would want a long-term contract, not a deal until the end of the season. There was even talk of Ange Postecoglou possibly being asked to return. I don't think, having made inquiries this morning, that will happen. Ryan Mason as another interim.
From the Toffees to the Tractor Boys, the Eagles to the Seagulls, Gunners, Bees, Hammers and Magpies, Premier League teams have got a load of crazy nicknames. Ever wondered where they came from? Let's start with Everton. They're dubbed the Toffees, but why? Well, because when the club was formed, just down the road there were two local toffee shops. Ye Ancient Everton Toffee House and Mother Noblet's Toffee Shop were big fan favourites. Next, they say if you can't beat 'em, join 'em, and that's exactly what Ipswich Town did when it came to their nickname. The term Tractor Boys used to be chanted by their opponents as a way of putting the team down for their farming background. But during one game back in the late 90s, Ipswich were 1-0 up and they decided to flip the script. 1-0 to the Tractor Boys, they sang, and a new nickname was born. Let's head to Leicester, famous for more than just a red, well, orangey cheese and Jamie Vardy. Leicestershire is also the birthplace of fox hunting, hence the Foxes. Next up, turns out apples are not the only fruit that don't fall far from the tree. Bournemouth's nickname, the Cherries, comes from the fact the club's stadium was originally built right next to a bunch of cherry orchards. This next story actually involves two club nicknames. It started with Crystal Palace. They were having an absolute nightmare run back in the early 70s. They'd been relegated after a terrible spell and manager Malcolm Allison decided enough was enough. He wanted a new nickname, something strong, fast and destined for success. Something exactly like an eagle. But there's more to this one. Brighton were in search of a nickname too, and Palace finally gave them what they needed. In a heated match between the two back in 1976, Palace fans began chanting, "Eagles, Eagles," and some clever Brighton fans came up with the perfect reply, "Seagulls, Seagulls." Not all club nicknames have a crazy story though. Take the Gunners. That just comes from the fact a group of munitions workers in the Royal Arsenal factory in Woolwich set up the club in 1886. On the flip side, some nicknames seem simple, but there's a bit more to them, like West Ham. The Hammers is actually nothing to do with the ham part of the name. It comes from the fact the club used to be called Thames Ironworks FC and was made up of workmen and shipbuilders. So next time the away end's chanting their crazy nickname, you'll now know exactly where it came from.
Okay, 5 minutes past 8. It is Monday the 16th of March. A very good morning to one and all. This is talkSPORT Breakfast with Arnold Clark. Browse the UK's best used car deals and score your dream car today. Check out the website for more details. Ali and Gabby with you this morning. Now, what's on the menu this morning? I'm going to tell you. We'll be asking whether Steve Borthwick's race has run as England's head coach following worst ever Six Nations campaign. I thought they were miles better on Saturday enough. I thought miles better. No better person to ask than three-time winning coach Eddie Jones. Very much looking forward to having Eddie on. We'll have a chat with that later on. You'll also get more background on the world's most famous teenager as we're joined in around half an hour by Max Dowman's former academy coach. Will it be GCEs or the World Cup this summer? Plus we're asking whether Formula One really has become Mario Kart. What a great line that is. Mario Kart. All that and more to come. Now though, is Arne Slot on the edge at Liverpool?
Liverpool 1, Tottenham 1. We're into 5 minutes of minimum stoppage time. Richarlison has scored and maybe, just maybe, has saved Igor Tudor's job for the time being at Tottenham Hotspur. Boos around Anfield.
I think and expect it was aimed towards the team, which I can completely understand, because I think if you don't feel the frustration after dropping points at home against Tottenham, who are in such a poor run of form, I think it's completely normal that at a certain moment they are frustrated.
I had that feeling that they were going to score, and I knew it'd be Richarlison. I think Slot's subs were wrong. I thought he took Rio off, he was our best player on the day. I thought Waite weren't the best, but he was trying to make stuff happen. Don't know, just this season I just think it might be time for him to go.
Nah, they're definitely not fired, mate. There's no doubt about that. Igor Tudor earned an unlike the first point at Spurs was. As former Everton man, Richarlison scored his 5th goal at Anfield. The result did move Liverpool back into 5th ahead of Chelsea, writing off after some bang average results from Chelsea and indeed the Villa. But legendary defender Jamie Carragher said on TV that questions regarding Arne Slot's future are very fair at this stage. Has he got a point, Gab? Well, it goes for the territory, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think so. But then I also look at it, winning the league last season, still got a chance of qualifying for Champions League football, a great chance. Still in the Champions League at the moment. I think they get through against Galatasaray. So I think you'd hold fire at the moment, wouldn't you? And after winning the Premier League, as long as they get Champions League football this season, I think he keeps his job.
I think so, mate. I do too, and we'd obviously one of the callers, we're going to have another caller coming on now who might not agree with us.
No, Isaac.
But I just think he's got enough. Yeah, nobody can argue the performances have taken a dramatic drop, but I just think you've got to have something in the bank winning the title the way they did. They're still in the Champions League. I would expect them to go through against Galatasaray. You're into the last 8 of the Champions League. Yeah.
But if you look at next season, Ali, if he carries on, after 15 games, if they're not in a title challenge, then I'm sure that's when they start looking at replacements, maybe.
Well, we're going to head to the phone lines because somebody's been on before. 03717 223344, of course, is the number to call. And a man that did that a while ago and has done it again today, he was called a plant pot back then for his opinion. But I'll tell you what, I think he's going to come up on here today and back up that opinion. Joe!
Come on, Joe.
How are you, Joe?
Morning, mate.
Hello, guys. Long time no speak. Good to speak to you guys.
I missed you.
Great for coming on, Joe. I'm guessing your opinion hasn't changed. In fact, it's probably strengthened.
Yeah, of course it's strengthened. I was right 4 months ago or 3 months ago, whatever it was. I can't believe you guys are saying the same thing about Arne Slot and the credit in the bank. The credit in the bank argument does not hold firm at all. And I wanted to say that I was actually very happy that there were some boos in Liverpool. Now, I don't like toxicity, and I don't necessarily support boos all the time, but on this occasion, I was very happy because it sends a message as fans. We do everything to support Liverpool Football Club. We pay our money, we pay our time, we pay our energy, we pay our effort. And how else are we going to communicate our frustration throughout, to the manager, to the team, if it's not through boos and Anfield? And actually, it's more directed at Arne Slot rather than the team itself. Let me just go through some hideous results that we've had throughout the season at Anfield, and this is ignoring away games. So we've lost to Man United, Amorim 2-1. We lost to Palace 3-0 in the Cup. We lost to Forest 3-0. We lost to PSV Eindhoven 4-1. We drew to Sunderland. We drew to Leeds. We drew to Burnley. But now we've drawn to Igor Tudor's Tottenham, and also we lost to Man City in the last minute. I'm sorry to say, this is an unforgivable set of results. Arne Slot has not improved things throughout the season. We are missing significant leadership, and it's been the same patterns throughout the season. We're conceding late. We're not managing games properly. We're not seeing out a lead. We're relying on set pieces. We're relying on Dominic Szoboszlai. There is no identity to our play. We're extremely monotonous. And I'm sorry to say, how many more chances do you have to give him? And this is a perfect replacement coming up. We
Still got credit in the bank for me.
I don't think so, Gabby. I don't think so. I'm sorry to say, it's not.
Joe, who would your perfect replacement be?
I think Gerrard should come in as interim, or we should just get going with Alonso immediately.
Wow.
No, listen, mate, I understand your frustration. I do get it. But Gabby and I are just kind of looking at it from the outside. You're obviously more involved, going to watch them. But I just think won the title with so much style. Yes, there's been a drop-off. Of course there has. There's no doubt about that. And you're right, some of the points. I think you'll win on Wednesday, mate. I think you'll get into the last 8 of the Champions League.
No guaranteed. But that's the bare minimum. Listen to the results I just listed out.
What about some of the players, though, Joe? Look at Salah's drop-off, Van Dijk.
Yeah, but
Gakpo.
You have to have okay, but that's the same thing you could do for Man United. Look how Carrick has steadied the ship. Look how he's improved the whole chemistry throughout the team. A new manager would certainly get the best out of some of our current players. For sure, yeah, a lot of them have dropped off. For sure, maybe it's not Slot's fault that there was a miscommunication between Van Dijk and Robertson at the end, which I was fuming about and I wasn't blaming Arne Slot about. But in general, it's the manager that inspires confidence in players. He's had fallings out with players throughout the season, McAllister, Salah, Curtis Jones, and
after the game,
the players believe in him.
Well, hold on a minute, Joe. Just stay with us, mate, because I think we've got your pal back on. I think we've got the other Joe. Yes,
hello,
I think
Joe.
that. Joe, are you there, mate?
Joe and Joe.
Good morning, gents.
Good morning, Joe. Now, I'm guessing, Joe, that clearly you'll be disappointed with the level of performance you saw yesterday and the result. Has your opinion changed?
Lads, listen. Morning, Plampos. You okay?
You can't call me Bramboy anymore. I've been proven right. You're out of title race.
Name sticks, mate.
We've got City away in the FA Cup.
Listen, Plampos, listen, let's be a bit civilised. Listen, it was Mother's Day yesterday. Right, okay. And I love listening to your conversation. And to be honest with you, Plampos, you do talk a lot of sense. And you spoke a lot of sense from our first conversation. However, moving forward, do I think Arnie has to go? No, I don't, lads. I don't think he has to go. But Plampot's got an awful lot of comment. You know, he's got some decent sort of comments there. And I have to support him on what he says in some of his conversation about certain players, etc.
Yeah.
But moving forward, lads, I just think it's always the whole sort of situation with Liverpool. You know, your passion is more important. Your brain overtakes your passion. But for the bigger picture, if you're a Liverpool fan, long-term Liverpool fan, sometimes you have to give in. On this occasion, I'm still not giving in because we're going to play City in the FA Cup. We're playing Galatasaray on Wednesday. After Wednesday, Plampos, if we get beat on Wednesday, I'll have a different conversation with you. But I still feel that we're
What do you think about that, Plampot?
Are you accepting that, Plampot?
Well, look, I mean, firstly, it's an honour to speak to you, Scoutster, again. It truly is.
Thank you very much.
You're a great guy. Yeah, I'm sorry. Like, I'm not. I agree with what you're saying in terms of sometimes the passion, frustration, the emotions can take over the brain, for sure. But I actually do think Liverpool fans are actually quite level-headed. We wouldn't be saying the whole of Liverpool Twitter is slot out. The fan channels at the minute are saying almost slot out. You know, we've got the likes of Anfield Rap and Redmen TV who speak a really good game. They're great ambassadors for the club, but they're actually, you know, they need to be. I don't really like the fact that they have a monopoly on the voice of Liverpool, and I think a lot of other fan channels are talking about slot out.
I know, Plampos. Listen. You say it there in your sentence. All these forums going on. These forums have an opinion that don't go to the game. I know you go to the odd game, mate, and I appreciate that. You travel quite a long way to come and see Liverpool, which is a pleasure. I'd like to thank you for doing that. And the thing is that the forums are sort of trying to take over the philosophy of football in general, which is not fair. Social media is taking over, and they've got too much to say. So the people that have the right opinion about watching Liverpool Football Club are fans that can't get there, unfortunately, because we're inundated with a 15-year waiting list of tickets. The season tickets and the box and the hospitality are going up every year. But we're still loyal, and that loyalty, as Szoboszlai said last night, which has found a bit of frustration, how many games we've got left? Is it 8 or 9 games? They should know how many games we've got left at Liverpool Football Club. But however, the things are saying, we won the league last year. You won the league. And he's saying, well, get behind us. We do get behind you.
Yeah.
But some of these players don't realise how lucky they are to play at a club like Liverpool, like these lads coming in. And it's important for... Come on,
Joe,
Ali, this is great. Let them carry on, Ali.
Well,
Let's
by
have a
the way,
break.
do you know something? I'd love to get them back on, but I've got somebody shouting me here. I've got to go to a break. But I'll tell you what, I will say the two of you, two Joes, different class, right? You might have a differing opinion, lads, but you've represented your club and your opinions very, very, very well. Thanks very much for your time this morning, boys. Really well done. That was good. Now, coming up, we're going to bring you a reaction to the Oscars, and there'll also be a clip of a certain talkSPORT presenter coming up. I don't know if I want to hear this.
Morning, guys.
Jermaine.
Morning, Gabs.
Jay,
Morning,
good
boss.
morning.
Morning, boss. You okay?
Yeah, I'm good. All good.
Why are you not here, Jermaine? I thought you would be with us today in the box, smelling amazing.
I might have to come down, actually. Looks like it's going to be fun. Nice day for it.
Yeah, great day.
Jump on the headache day, you'll be fine, mate.
He's not a racing man, I don't think, is he?
I'm not. The boss knows I'm not really, and he's getting involved in it, though.
Yeah.
Saying all the right
He's well
things.
behaved, didn't come on a Tuesday when he was in on the Wednesday.
No.
Yeah, he was definitely there on a Tuesday.
We're the lads here. All got the helicopter here, didn't they?
Did they?
Tottenham, yeah. Yeah.
That was Rob,
Jermaine,
that
it's
was
good to
Robbie that
have
saw
you
that.
on with this. Let's get your thoughts now on your former club. Shall we start with Spurs? It's a bit of a mess.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously it's been a hard watch all season. To be honest, I think especially the other night I watched the game and yeah, it was just I think the manager's come in and he's in, especially in that game he's decided to start a young goalkeeper in Kingsley, and I think I was surprised when he took him off. To be honest, I think when you have a young goalkeeper and you make that decision in such a game of that magnitude to start him, I think you've got to stay with him. I think what a young goalkeeper can gain from that sort of experience, even though it weren't going well when he made the two big mistakes. But I think you've got to stay with him. And the fact that the manager decided to take him off and not really acknowledge him when he come off, I just think that human side, I think you've got to manage that situation in the right way. He doesn't look good. I think try and get through half time and allow the senior players to get around him and help him in the second.
Hello and welcome to talkSPORT Goals. We've been taking you through what should be another busy day of football.
Chance to win it!
We don't need to do that, guys.
I'm going to owe you an apology.
How would you get to that conclusion? That's a weak mentality.
Oh, get out of it.
Okay, this is talkSPORT Breakfast. Alan Gabby with this morning. It's 20 minutes past 8 on Monday the 16th of March. We're off and running. Bit of stick going to be flying about here, I can tell you now. Last night, Hollywood rolled out the red carpet for the Oscars, and one battle after another was the big winner, taking home 6 awards, including Best Picture and Best Director. Michael B. Jordan beat Timothée Chalamet to win Best Actor for Sinners, with Jessie Buckley made history for the first Irish woman to win Best Actress for Hamnet. Now, here at talkSPORT, after some stellar acting performances from our former players, we thought we'd host an Oscars of our own, Gab. Here's talkSPORT's Nick Ellaby. I'm away.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the talkSPORT Oscar. And the nominations for Best Actor are Ray Party Parlour as Arsenal's creative director,
Paris, Milan, Romford. Fashion is a lot like football. They both begin with F. Yes, 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 I'm a genius.
Alan and Gabby's EastEnders advert.
Don't leave me, I know. There's love in you, and we'll find it together. Get off me! Ah! Now do you believe me? Gabby, please. Memories are better. This is ridiculous.
Ali McCoist in A Shot at Glory.
Remember what it was that got you started in the first place? Build on that. Rediscover what...
Wow. Wow. Is that real, Ali? Was that a real film? Okay, guys, I've got to describe you. Ali was in the film 2001, Sober Glory, and there's a scene where there's a lovely, stunning lady speaking. Ali says, shh, and he goes to kiss her so softly and gently, Ali. But I've got one question for you, Coisty.
Yes, mate.
How many scenes did it take to get the kiss correct? What a great kisser you are, Ali.
By the way.
Whoa! He went over the top.
Oh, help, help. Let's get a latest.
No. How many scenes, Ali? How many times?
Just the one, Gab. You know the deal. Just the one.
You silver fox. Well, I'm watching that film when I get into the hotel after the show.
That's killed me. That has.
Ali,
I don't think I've seen
Ali,
that for 20 years, mate.
No
honestly.
wonder. When I was on holiday a few years ago, I saw these Scottish ladies, and we were talking about Scottish legends. I mentioned you. They're like, oh, Ali, oh, my friend, and my friend, and my friend. You are a naughty guy, Alison McCoy.
Coral, Simon, Claire, help!
The Coral Daily Download on talkSPORT with Coral. We're here for the fans this season. 18 plus, gambleaware.org.
What a scene!
Simon, get me out of this, mate. Please, a very good morning
I'm
to you.
watching that film when
Simon, help!
I don't know if I can. My eyes are hurting. I can't believe what I've just watched.
Simon,
I feel that the 90% of listeners who aren't watching need to get on their YouTube and watch this back later. Is all I'm saying.
What a kissing with you, Simon.
Look,
passionate, soft.
What's it called? Sober Glory.
Sober Glory. Is that a horse?
It was a shot at Glory.
He ran in the Supreme on the first Dead Chance.
Exactly.
He would have won if it hadn't hit the last.
You
what a
silver
segue.
fox, Coisty. Wow.
Simon. The old silver fox back in the day, Simon. Don't worry about that. There was a bit going on then. There was a wee bit going on then, Simon. Right, let's get me out of here, Simon.
Well,
Please,
Cheltenham,
please.
let's talk about Cheltenham very
Let's
quickly.
talk about Cheltenham, my friend. What a
you
meeting.
were missed. Alan was missed.
Mate.
Gabby came to the rescue. Shaban came to the rescue. It was a great Cheltenham, wasn't it, Gabby? I mean,
I'm still trying to get
atmosphere
hold of
was-
Harry to get my money back.
Well,
Simon.
we all backed Harry. It came
Yeah.
up short, but there'll be
Yes.
other days, Gabby. Don't be bitter.
Yes.
But look, it was
Some
great
winner.
Cheltenham, Ali, you missed. You know, the atmosphere was great.
Amazing.
The attendances were strong. talkSPORT on air was brilliant fun. It went the bookies' way in the end, but there was some, Gaelic Warrior and Lossy Mouth were two high points for punters. John Joe and Neil, we were there with them on the Monday. They had a huge week. They had 7 runners. They had 2 winners. And it was very emotional on Friday when Willful won with John Joe Jr. on board. He was in tears afterwards, for the family. It'd been a tough season for him and John Joe and AJ, but they came up to trumps, which was great.
We watched it. I know I was away. I was over in obviously Madrid, Simon. But Marky and I, Steve McMahon, as you know, loves his racing as well. We sat and watched it, and some of the racing was brilliant. I mean, the performance, Gaelic Warrior's performance, I thought was terrific. It was probably the highlight for me, mate.
It was. Look, it was a massive shock. So it was good in a way, though, because you and me, Ali, we've been going for a long time.
Yeah.
And it got a bit predictable in recent years. But back in the day, you'd have those big fantasy winners, but you'd have shocks. And it always showed you how hard it was to win. And that Home by the Lee, winning for the 5th time of running the Stayers, aged 11 at 33-1. Amazing. Martador at 66-1. Sometimes you need those shocks as well, just to remind you that everyone has a chance, worth rolling the dice, and it ain't easy to win at Cheltenham.
It was a shame, though, wasn't it, Simon, to see, was it 3 horses that obviously died, and in the Gold Cup, horse passed away as well.
He did, Envoy Alain.
A shame,
I mean, it's a festival star, really, and it was his last run, 12 years old. Unfortunately, it was one of those things you couldn't have known about. I say, sadly, these things do happen, but it's a tough sport. But I say the horses are loved and well treated, and
of
it's,
course. Worth a mention as well, Simon. Good weekend for Sam Twiston-Davies and Paul Nicholls.
Yeah, massive. They won the Midlands National with Isaac Tozobo. Rock My Way came up short. Joe Tizard and John Romans had the second there. They were thrilled. Joe Tizard actually passed in coming second. He's won his record prize money since taking over the licence from his dad. So that was a big day for Joe Tizard and the team. So that was great. But it was a big week for racing, and now we roll on to Aintree in the National and then the flat season.
Terrific. Now, Simon, if you had a good enough week. You certainly had a great week, but you must have had a wonderful Saturday evening, mate. Yeah?
Well,
wow.
For 90 minutes, it was painful and stressful, and I was, and then literally that wonderful last 6 minutes with the contribution of Max Dowman, the goal obviously from Jokeres, and then his individual effort, and then I actually went to see Scouting for Girls with my daughter in Birmingham, Gabby, in the O2 Academy.
Yep.
And there was no Wi-Fi or anything, so I only came out afterwards to find that West Ham had got a draw against City. So what a night it was.
Some City, no Wi-Fi.
Always have problems, always.
No Wi-Fi.
Were you receiving smoke signals to get the results?
I was concentrating on Scammer Girls singing Posh Girls and all their big hits. Lovely. But it's so Arsenal. 1 minute I was thinking, God, are we letting City back into the title race? Now it's 1-12 Arsenal, 7-1 Man City. There are still people saying it ain't over, and it's definitely not over. Make no mistake. But God, we're sleeping easier now as Arsenal fans. I think we really can almost sense that moment where we might be able to lift that title.
It's happening, Simon. Just a quick one. What about down the bottom? Interesting.
Oh, really is actually. Do you know what? Obviously. The mischief maker in me was obviously kind of enjoying Spurs losing yesterday, but fair play to them for grabbing that late equaliser. Yeah. But it's still very tight. The betting 7-4 Spurs for relegation, 7-4 West Ham, 9-4 Forest. In many ways, actually, what Forest have been dragged into it with that draw. We know that Forest play Spurs at the weekend.
Massive,
huge.
Massive.
It could almost bail Spurs out of trouble, or it could have put them in the mire. Yeah. So a long way to go in the relegation, but. Brilliant fun.
Great stuff, Simon. You have a good wee, mate. Thanks for your time this morning. That was a look, of course, at the latest odds with Coral 18+. GambleAware.org. Now, coming up, we're going to turn our attention to the future of Steve Borthwick after England's worst ever Six Nations. I'll happen to say, I'll shove it, and I think it's one of the best Six Nations I have ever seen. Former England coach Eddie Jones is going to be with us next, and we're looking forward to that. Stay with us.
The Coral Daily Download on talkSPORT with Coral. We're here for the fans this season. 18+, GambleAware.org.
is just so typical.
That's so nonsensical.
PSG 3, Chelsea 2, and goodness me, boys, you've shot yourselves in the foot.
What is that? What is that?
I said it. We said it. You bring in a keeper because he's good with his feet. But really and truly, is he that good with his feet? What's this shambolic goal?
Reece James plays the ball back to Jorgensen, who tries to play out from the back, and he gets intercepted. It falls to a PSG player. And by the way, as well, when he gets worked to Vitinha, the goalkeeper's off his line. And that is some dinked finish, isn't it? But once again there, Kwaku, he's taking way too much time. And my goodness me, in a game of football where you're level at 2-2, possibly looking the better team, in a game of this magnitude, at this level, mistakes like that, Louis, are just completely unacceptable.
It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. This is why when people talk about keepers playing with the ball at their feet all the time and how it's a massive priority, yes, I appreciate the game is changing, but the priority for a goalkeeper is saving it.
There's also moments as well I don't think they're clearly there. You had a PSG player coming from the left-hand side.
It's illogical.
You could see ahead as well someone's being pressed. I'm with you. Playing out from the back is a part of football, but if you can see there's pressure on, there has to be a moment where you don't play out from the back and you just go long.
But this is the problem. There's a consistent need to always play out the back, always play out, always play out. Just this another problem with this Chelsea team, but also not just this Chelsea team. A lot of teams now, because there is so much pressure on playing out from the back, they make silly decisions like that all the time, and we're giving the ball away again.
Amen Corner, perhaps the most feared run of holes in golf. Each year, it claims the tournament hopes of many, with balls hitting bunkers and water traps aplenty. But why is it so fearsome, and where did it get its name? Just the thoughts of holes 11, 12 and 13 at Augusta National gives the likes of Rory McIlroy and Jordan Spieth the shivers. McIlroy hit 3 over and Spieth hit 4 over in their final rounds to blow their hopes of a green jacket in 2011 and 2016 respectively. But did you know Amen Corner's name is inspired by a jazz song from 1933? American sports writer Herbert Warren Wint, on the left here, wrote about it in 1958, referencing the song shouted in that Amen Corner when describing the run. Hole 11 is a par 4 over 520 yards with a green guarded by a pond and bunkers to the front edge. 12, perhaps golf's most famous hole, is a par 3 over just 155 yards. The green's guarded by Rays Creek at the front, more bunkers and azalea bushes ready to punish the smallest error. Then there's the 13th that teases the hook shot over the trees. It's a dogleg par 5 over 545 yards that's inviting for big hitters who want to reach the green in 2. If you want to win the Masters, you have to keep your score down around Amen Corner. So who'll be the next to fall victim to golf's most famous and most daunting challenge?
What have we got? 8:34, Monday the 16th of March. This, of course, is talkSPORT Breakfast with our good friends Arnold Clark. With over 20,000 used cars online to choose from, they will, without doubt, have a car for you. Alan Gabby with you this morning. Now, make sure you listen to talkSPORT this Friday as Thomas Tuchel names his England squad for the 2 friendlies against Uruguay and Japan later this month, and there's plenty to look out for. Will he keep Foden in despite of his lack of minutes? Interesting. What about Saka? He struggled for goals, as did Ollie Watkins, who has 2 in 14 games. If you want to get into World Cup fear, then a reminder about our latest podcast, How to Win the World Cup, out every Thursday morning. Hosted by Matt Ford, the brilliant Matt Ford. It features a rotation of stars including Emmanuel Petit, Brad Friedel, as they uncover the secrets and strategies that go into lifting sport's greatest trophy.
Alistair.
Yes, my friend.
I'm trying to find this film, mate. A Shot at Glory. But the character in the movie, Ali, is this true? Was a former Celtic player?
Yes.
No wonder you're trying to get us to not talk about it. I'm finding this film. It says on here, it's not easy to find, but it can often be on Apple TV or Amazon Prime. YouTube have it, guys. A Shot of Glory, the year 2000, Alistair McCoy passionately kissing a lady. Wow. I'm finding that, Ali, after this show's finished, mate. You're not getting away with that. No way.
There's only one place we can go after that, and that's the Six Nations. We're going to take a look at the weekend Six Nations action with Funding Circle.
Guinness Six Nations review on talkSPORT with Funding Circle. Business finance that backs you. Find out more at fundingcircle.com.
Dear, oh dear. Now, France snatched the Six Nations title in dramatic fashion. It really was. As Ramos, I beg your pardon, last gasp penalty sealed a thrilling 48-46 win. England 46-45, but just before that penalty, man, unbelievable. What a game it was. Ireland, what a game this was. Landed the first punch of the day. It says dismantling here. They were very good, Ireland, particularly defensively. I thought it was tremendous. Beat Scotland 43-21. Didn't think it was a true reflection of the game, the score, but Ireland certainly deserved to win, to claim the Triple Crown and move 3 points clear. But France's late heroics stole the title. England's campaign ended in disappointment, finishing second bottom after their worst Six Nations run. Despite calls for him to go, England head coach Steve Borthwick insists he's the correct man to lead them forward again.
We're all hurting. Everyone involved with the team cares so deeply. So immediate reflection is that huge disappointment. I sense a determination to make sure that this hurt makes the team stronger in the future.
Well, more than this, I'm delighted to say joining us now is a man who's won the Six Nations 3 times, England head coach. It's current Japan head coach Eddie Jones. Eddie, a very good morning. Thanks for joining us. Good morning, Eddie. How are you, Eddie?
Hi, boys. I'm going to look up that movie as soon as I get off.
Please, mate. Eddie, please do.
Eddie, it may be the worst. It'll be the worst hour and a half of your life, mate. Let me tell you. Eddie, I tell you what.
It though, mate.
I've got to ask you, Eddie, right? Before we go into things England, my opinion is, and you're far more qualified than I'll ever be, I think it might have been the best Six Nations I might just ever have seen, mate. From the opening Friday night where I thought France were unbelievable against an Irish side, a great 40 minutes of rugby, right to the last kick of the ball, as we mentioned there, with France winning the championship. How did you see it overall, mate?
Oh, it was pretty good. Like, outstanding rugby. And I think because there was so much drama in it, you know, you had England and France starting off as favourites. Everyone had a question mark on Ireland, you know. Gregor Townsend was under the pump as Scotland coach, and Italy was going to be the surprise packet, and everyone was tipping Wales to be terrible. You know, and through the course there was ups and downs, great games of rugby. You know, coaches went from being dunces to geniuses, back to dunces. Yeah. You know, it had it all, mate. And the last game, not a better game of rugby you could see, and that's why we love rugby.
Well, we looked at. I mean, you couldn't have written the script, but I want to ask you one of the things that I've noticed. Some of the stats come out of it, Eddie. England, for example. I know they didn't have a particularly good tournament. I thought they were miles better in the final game, but was it a serious problem that they had with indiscipline throughout the championship, Eddie? Because I'm looking at it. I mean, they conceded 55 penalties overall. They had 8 yellows. They had 1 red. I think they lost 63 points, mate, when they were down to 14 men. I mean, you're right up against it there, surely.
Yeah, it's the way of sport at the moment. I think, you know, particularly when you get a few yellow cards, you're really struggling to stay in the game at the top level. You know, teams are so good, and rugby's supposed to be a game 15 on 15, and when you get down to 14, which England experienced a lot, you get into trouble, and so they'll need to look at that. But generally, mate, yellow cards are a result of the pressure you're under. You know, it's generally not players doing stupid things. You know, the great thing about rugby now, you know, it used to be quite a violent game. Now it's a pretty clean game. So the yellow cards comes from players making mistakes under pressure.
Eddie, obviously our worst ever Six Nations, losing to Italy, France, Ireland and Scotland, only beating Wales. What changes do you think England need to make in the next 18 months so that they can compete at the World Cup?
Well, I think the first thing they should do is stick to Steve. You know, they had a series of 12 wins before this, so the team was going well. To get 12 wins, in any competition in the world, and particularly at the top level, is pretty good. They've had a bad, there's no doubt they've had a bad Six Nations. Now, they finished well, which is good. But it's always easy to play a bit well when the pressure's really on you. They definitely need to look at the selection of the team. And, Steve would know better than anyone. He started with George Ford at 10, then went to Finn Smith at 10. And that's in rugby, it's a crucial position. It's generally a quarterback. So that's going to be a big decision on who he continues with. And that person needs to have a run of games now up until the World Cup, so they accumulate some experience and learn how to play with the team. Because we saw that situation in the game before where Itoje and Finn Smith looked like they had a pretty serious misunderstanding on the field, and you don't want to see that in your team. So I think that's one of the things they need to get right going forward.
Eddie, two players I want to talk to you about that I thought were absolutely outstanding, had fantastic tournaments. I was blessed to be at Murrayfield for the Scotland-France game, Eddie. What a game of rugby it was. But two players I want to ask you about, I think a magnificent Six Nations tournament. Finn Russell, obviously from Scotland's point of view, I thought had a terrific tournament. But also, Louis Biari, another 9 tries in the championship, taking his record to 18 and 14 in the Six Nations. Those two guys stood out for me. I thought they were terrific, mate.
Yeah, no, you're right, mate. Like Finn Russell, didn't start off that well, and he didn't get much space in the first game. But then from there on in, he produced the things that most players can't do. He does the things that you don't coach. He sees the game, he takes risks, and most of them are good calculated risks. And he's got a huge appetite to have the ball, and he makes Scotland such a hard side to defend against. The winger, he just seems to make the ball bounce on its end for him. There was only one game that didn't bounce for him, which was the Scotland game. And every other game, like his work rate off the ball is exceptional. His ability to find the ball is just incredible. And he's a little guy too. It's one of the things that's changed in rugby. These little guys with the game speeding up has become so important in the game.
So what I did love, Ali and Eddie, I loved when Pollock shussed the French crowd after his try. We don't see that enough, do we? We see it in other sports. In football, we see it every week. But that made me smile seeing that. Even though we ended up losing, that put a smile on my face.
Well, it's interesting. I was just thinking this morning, there's 2 games, 50-40, and obviously the last game. And in the Northern Hemisphere, you used to criticise some hemisphere Super Rugby for having scores like that, saying it's glorified basketball. But it's the way the sport's going. Everyone wants entertainment, everyone wants tries. And I think, players are now showing their personality more. They've obviously got social media. I think it's a great thing for the game, mate. But he probably wasn't asking him to be quiet at the end.
I think it's brilliant. Eddie, what about yourself? How about Japan? How's life treating you?
Yeah, no, pretty good, mate. We've got our hands full. We're in the Nations Cup. We're ranked 12th in the world, so we've got a big challenge ahead of us. But we're going to put together a good team, and we'll go well.
Great stuff, mate. Listen, we really appreciate it. Really appreciate you taking the time to join us this morning. Thanks very much, Eddie. All the best, mate.
Boys, good to see you. I'm going to find that movie now, mate. I'll give you a review.
You've killed me, Gab. You've absolutely killed me. Eddie Jones here, 3-time Six Nations winner as England head coach. Yes, mate.
I've already been sent a link to it on my Instagram, and I've got it ready. You're coming onto the football pitch at training in a long blue jumper. I'm watching this during the breaks, Coisty. I'm all over you, mate. All over you.
That was a recap of this weekend's Six Nations action with Funding Circle.
Guinness Six Nations review on talkSPORT with Funding Circle. Business finance that backs you. Find out more at fundingcircle.com.
Just a quick word on some of the other stuff that's been doing the rounds this week. Eddie Hearn's been making more noises, discussing the prospect of AJ. We don't even know when he's going to come back and start fighting again, taking on Tyson Fury. I mean, is this just sort of like, I don't know, barroom talk, or is there real feeling behind it? Is there some substance behind the prospect of them meeting finally?
I think there's a real thirst for it from everybody involved in being able to make that fight. I think we will be a lot further down the line, obviously, if Anthony hadn't suffered the tragedy that he suffered at the back end of last year. And that's the main thing, really, for me. Him getting his head in the right space to compete, competing for the right reasons, getting himself to a place of peace. I know that he's never, ever going to get over what happened to him, but if he can get to a place of peace where he can get back in the ring, he can compete, and if he does want to do that again, then I think the obvious turn would be Tyson Fury. I think it would be really, really sad for this era of boxing and this era of boxing fan, and for both of these guys, because I think they'll look back in years gone after their career that they should have done it. I hope that they can get to a point where they do it, because I still think that it is the biggest fight for two British lads stepping in a British ring. Fingers crossed it happens on British soil, that we can get.
Right, final prediction before I let you go. Who sinks more pints of Guinness over the weekend? You in Dublin or Crookie this afternoon while he's watching the Gold Cup?
Oh, that's a killer, that. I think Crookie takes it all. I've been out with Crookie on a couple of occasions, mate, and he is a phenom, isn't he? He knows what he's doing when it comes to sinking pints.
Hello and welcome to talkSPORT Goals. We're taking you through what should be another busy day of football.
Chance to win it!
We don't need to do that, guys.
I'm going to owe you an apology. How would you get to that conclusion?
That's a weak mentality.
Oh, get out of it.
.49, this is talkSPORT Breakfast. Ali and Gabby with you this morning. Gabby, going to get that phone away. Just stop it.
Oh, are we back? Oh, sorry. 1 second. Let me pause it. Sorry. I'm 11 minutes in, Ali. 1 second. I'll finish it later. It's unbelievable, by the way.
Arsenal clinched a crucial victory in the title race thanks to the Premier League's youngest ever goal scorer.
Arsenal come forward with Max Dalman, and they're away, and they're going to wrap up all 3 points. Max Dalman, the youngster, taps the ball home. Cue Bedlam at the Emirates. The substitutes stream onto the pitch. The Emirates erupts in joy.
Well, he's got everything. Even at 16, watching him being so comfortable on his right foot, left foot, give me the ball. It was like watching a very old savvy player at the twilight of his career that still got the ability.
He has this way that once he gets into full speed, he moves his body and he can move. He just moves defenders just with a slight movement of his body, and only great players can do that. Johan Cruyff could do that. George Best could do that. Messi can obviously do that.
Just look, he's such a special talent. Let's enjoy and watch him blossom.
That's it. That last one's the one for me.
Yes.
He's a special talent. Let's enjoy him and just let him blossom was the correct term I'd have used there. Now with the score locked at Arsenal 0 each with Everton, Max Dowman replaced Martin Zubamendi in the 74th minute. 50 minutes later his cross led to Victor Gyökeres' goal before Dowman himself struck to finish the game off at 2-0 at 16 years and 73 days old. I mean, that is incredible, Gavin, isn't it?
Incredible.
Absolutely unbelievable. The Chelmsford lad replaced James Vaughan as the youngest scorer in the competition's history. Now, we're delighted to say we're going to speak to someone who had a hand in Dowman's development within the Arsenal Academy. It's a very, very good morning to ex-Gunners youth coach, Temison Williams. Temison, thanks for joining us. How are you, first of all, mate?
Good morning. I'm keeping very well. Thank you for having me, Gabby and Ali.
It's great to see you, mate, and thanks for taking the time to join us this morning. In terms, I want to ask you, if I may, first question I'm going to ask you. I don't have any doubt you'll have been delighted and thrilled with what you saw at the weekend. Has there been an element of surprise though, just how quickly it's come?
Definitely, I should say that it's a fantastic, of course, an incredible thing that Max has done. It's brilliant for his family, for, of course, the academy, the club, fans. And it's always a bit of a surprise because the journey can have so many ups and downs, as both of you know.
Yeah.
So being able to see what's happening with Max now is just brilliant. And he should, of course, just enjoy that moment, which I know he did.
Temison, you coached Max Dowman in the under-11s, under-12s in Arsenal's academy. What was he like at that age? Because I remember seeing clips of Jack Grealish when he was 8, 9, 10, 11, and wow, the standout from other players is incredible.
So I should definitely start by saying scouts have done a fantastic job first, phenomenal. Johnny Knight, who first saw Max, and of course all the coaches within the academy. So I was the under-12s assistant coach. I also was able to see Max for 2 years, so small part of course, his journey. But Max has always had that super strength of being able to carry the ball. That's always been something he's enjoyed, something he's strong at, something that we saw in training, and of course we're now seeing on the TV.
Tell me, how important is it now for Max to be guided by Arteta and his teammates? Because obviously and understandably, I mean, we're doing it ourselves. We are to a certain degree getting carried away right now, and I think sometimes we as a country and lovers of football put a little bit undue pressure on some of the youngsters coming through. How important is the next kind of period for him in terms of his guidance and his development?
Absolutely critical. The club have been brilliant at that. I know they've got fantastic structure through Per Mertesacker, of course, the academy manager at the moment, and he's got an excellent link, of course, with Arteta. So for Max, I know they would have that structure. Of course, he's 16. He's doing his GCSEs, which he needs to focus on, and Arteta's drip feeding him into the first team. But as we can see, it's just managed minutes. And when Max comes on, he's of course enjoyed it and has had an impact in the game. But we definitely need to calm down. I've seen a lot on social media. I've seen some crazy comparisons.
I know.
And he's not yet even started his career. And you're comparing him to those who are legends of the game. Let's wait until 20, 25 years, God willing, he has a successful career. And then maybe we can look at the comparisons.
Temison, we've seen people saying that maybe even being called up for England, the World Cup. I think that's obviously too soon. But what about gaining experience of maybe training with those players with the England setup? You know, like you get called into the squad, but you're not going to play, but you're training with Thomas Tuchel's team. Would that be something that would help his journey as well?
Of course, Tuchel will know best. We've seen with Arteta, he drafted him into training from the age of 14, and of course he's now been playing in under-21s and had opportunities with the first team. He's with England, I believe, under-19s at the moment, and they will know what's best for him at that stage. And I think it's important to manage that journey. And again, there are so many professionals around Max who will make sure that's the case. Tell me,
as lucky as he is, and you earn your luck, of course you do. And we've had a magnificent moment at the weekend where he scores a goal, runs the full length of the park. But in many ways, Gabby and I were talking a little bit earlier, is he a little bit unlucky in the respect that the squad that Arsenal have got at this moment in time, he won't get as much game time as he might have perhaps at another club. Arsenal, for me, have got the strongest squad I might ever have seen.
Yes.
So I think game time will continue to be precious.
It's incredibly hard. The percentages even to become a professional football player, as you both know, incredibly difficult. He has obviously in front of him Saka, Madueke, Ethan Nwaneri, who last season played 37 games, 9 goals. He had to go out on loan at Marseille. So Max has a lot of professionals ahead of him before getting that opportunity. But one of the things that you can say about Arteta is that he has faith in him. He trusts him to come on with some minutes. And I know you mentioned about the Premier League, potentially if Arsenal can wrap it up a bit earlier. Of course, it's looking like they're having that opportunity to. Then maybe that's where we'll see Max getting more minutes. But again, there are, of course, other players in front of him that do want to play.
It's difficult, though, isn't it? Because I could imagine Max thinking, look what I've done. You know, when am I starting? When am I starting? You know, that excitement and that hunger to go out and keep achieving at such a young age. We've seen it from Wayne Rooney at a young age. He's not going to want to be held back and, I might have to go and play under 18s on the weekend. It's going to be difficult, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's very difficult. But Max is very grounded, has a grounded family who are, brilliant, and he's doing very well in the under-21s under Max Porter. So it's really a case of let's see how this season goes out, and then of course next season, if there are any opportunities that do come up, Arteta will know best. But if you want to play with the best, of course, you then have to continue your development. If you want under the best, and Max is in the best place for
I'm
his
just trying to
development.
figure out, guys. Sorry to change, but what's it going to be like going into school today, Ali? I mean, like, what's going on? You're trying to do your work in your class, and everyone's talking about your goal. Like,
I know. But I tell you what, though, lads, it must be a nightmare to mark in the playground. You know what I mean?
Yes. Get the bags down, get the blazers down for goals.
Oh, aye. You must keep the ball for about 15 minutes in the playground, man. Temison, brilliant, mate. Thanks very much for joining us, pal. Well done. Thank you. Great
Take
stuff.
care, guys.
Amazing.
You too, mate. Still to come in breakfast.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Benchmarks Kitchens and Joinery. Get trade prices on kitchens to suit all styles and budgets at Benchmarks.
Brilliant. Former F1 team principal Günther Steiner joins us next to discuss whether Formula One's new rules are helping the sport or turning it into Mario Kart, as Max Verstappen believes it is. Former Premier League referee Chris Foyle with us also to unpack another weekend of bar controversies, as well as Chelsea's bizarre huddle with Paul Tierney. And after a weekend that saw Chelsea, Villa and Liverpool fail to win, is the race for Champions League football going flat? That was a big thanks to Temison Williams, their former coach of Max Dowman in the Arsenal Academy. We're going to take a short break.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. With 250 hire branches nationwide, it's easy to hire at Travis Perkins.
In the past 10 years, on only one occasion has a side been on fewer points than Arsenal at this stage of the season. Leicester City, 63 points at this stage. Arsenal leading the Premier League on 67. Liverpool were also on 67 in 23-24, and they went on and finished third that year. I mean, does the fact that they have got that 7-point gap right now over Manchester City give them a little bit more insulation? Because Leicester didn't have that, did they?
No, they didn't. It was. I mean, you can't compare those compare the seasons. That was just
crazy.
It was.
Yeah.
It was.
I still can't even believe that it happened now.
I find it's fascinating how much stick Arsenal are getting for the style and the set plays and trying to compare previous winners.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, but it does.
It doesn't
obviously
matter
does.
to them.
It obviously does. Yeah, it doesn't to them, but it obviously does to so many people.
But that's just because people don't want Arsenal to win it. That's got nothing to do with the fact that they really care
also,
about
look,
the style.
are we really looking across the other teams and going, wow, what a
No,
team?
there's not.
Oh,
another
they're
team
so good to
standing up
watch.
and going,
No,
I would prefer them to be.
No,
champions.
I would say the league as a whole this season has been
Average.
Yes. Yeah, and you can see it's evolving. The stats will tell you it's evolving, especially in an athletic way for these teams. It's much more competitive than it's ever been before. It's not about how you do it; it's about whether you do it.
Life after football. For a lot of players, it means going into punditry. Some turn to coaching or working in the game in other ways. But what about the rest? Some former footballers turn their sights away from the game, and there are a few big surprises. First up, from rainbow flicks to pancake flips. Ex-Chelsea and Southampton defender Ken Monku switched up his footballing career to buy a Dutch pancake house. He bought out the shop, which had been his favourite pancake spot as a child, and before long he was mixing the batter and getting behind the stove. Next, Everton legend Thomas Gravesen swapped out the high stakes of the Premier League for those of the poker room. He made over 150 appearances for the Toffees and won the Scottish Premier League with Celtic. Turned out the Danish international was pretty darn good at poker. He racked up a reported £100 million from his Las Vegas adventures. Remember former Chelsea goalkeeper Petr Cech? Turns out football nets weren't the only goals he was pretty handy in front of. After retirement, he became a goaltender in ice hockey. Same skills, very different surface. And he even won a Division 2 title with Guildford Phoenix. For ex-Liverpool centre-back Daniel Agger, it wasn't just fancy footwork that was in his blood. He was also pretty good with his hands. The Denmark international turned to tattoo artistry after he hung up his boots. He'd qualified as a skin artist while at Anfield, and he then became the co-owner of his own tattoo company as well. It's not all glamour for ex-pros, though. 1966 World Cup winner Ray Wilson set up a very different kind of business. He became an undertaker after he retired. Finally, not many people can say they've won both a World Cup and starred in an Oscar-winning film. In fact, there's only one person in the entire world who can say that. Frank Leboeuf, the former Chelsea defender, was part of the 1998 France squad who won the World Cup. He ended up marking Brazil's Ronaldo in the final and helped his side to a 3-0 win. But Leboeuf had already begun acting on the side while he was playing football, and his biggest role came some years after his retirement when he landed the part of a doctor in the Stephen Hawking biopic The Theory of Everything.
I embrace the career of acting, so I want to learn more. So seeing lots of movies is a part of my job.
To be honest, with all the dramatic diving in the game these days, there's probably tons of ex-pros who've got the acting skills to make it in Hollywood.
What a show. We're getting into the final hour, 5 minutes past 9, as of course Monday the 16th of March. This is talkSPORT Breakfast with our good friends at Arnold Clark. Browse the UK's best used car deals and score your dream car today. Check out their website for more details. Ali and Gab, have you calmed down, Gabby? You getting off my case?
I just can't wait for 10 o'clock to watch the film, to be honest.
No, it was another thrilling weekend of Premier League action as Arsenal moved 9 points clear at the top.
Arsenal come forward with Max Dowman, and they're away, and they're going to wrap up all 3 points. Max Dowman, the youngster, taps the ball home. Hugh Bedlam at the Emirates.
Donnarumma doesn't get there, and it's headed in by Mavropanos. Is that the killer blow in the title race for Manchester City? West Ham 1, Manchester City 1.
And it's finished here. Chelsea 0, Newcastle 1. The goal by Anthony Gordon settled it.
United win by 3-1. Casemiro, Cunha and Seshko with those efforts.
Crystal Palace 0, 10-man leads 0. Palace failing to take full advantage of Gabriel Gudmundsson's controversial sending off.
When is a goal not a goal at the City Ground for Dan and Doy? Why can't we just go back to when football was easy, ball in the net, goal, update on the radio on a Sunday afternoon?
Liverpool 1, Tottenham 1. Richarlison has scored and maybe, just maybe, has saved Igor Tudor's job. Yet more late goals conceded by Liverpool and yet more frustration for Arne Slot and co.
Spot on for the Moose there. Different class. The race for Champions League football took another twist as United surged closer to Europe's elite, crushing Villa 3-1. Meanwhile, the battle for the remaining spots remains absolutely wide open with just 3 points separating 4th to 6th. Villa have lost the momentum with 4 games out of win. Chelsea, 3 points minus 6, have managed just 1 win from 4. Title holders Liverpool are 2 points shy of the top 4, have stumbled in the last 2 against struggling sides. European fixtures piling up for all 3 contenders. United, free from cup distractions, could pull even further ahead. That looks a certainty, Gabby, at this stage, doesn't it?
Yes, about European football, Manchester United comfortably, Ali, and they've got quality players. Let's not forget the money they spent in the summer. Lemens come in, Shesko come in, Cunha, Mbumo, already got Fernandes, Casemiro, Mainu. You know, they've got a strong starting 11.
Do you know what I think, Gab? Do you know what I think? For the first time in a long time, we clearly know how important, right, the transfer market is and recruitment is. And I keep saying it, they just look as though they've got players now that can handle playing at Manchester United.
Trust.
Yeah, they didn't. I don't think they had it before, mate. You know, I really don't think they had it before. They'd say what it was, Højlund, who scored again at the weekend, by the way, I've got to say, for Napoli. Yeah. But you mentioned that there's 3 or 4 that I look at Cunha and Mbumo, Šeško's look as though he's going to score goals now, but they just look comfortable in the environment. Do you know what I mean? Because as you know, it can be a difficult place to play, and they look as though they're thriving on it.
Exactly, and they're enjoying playing for Manchester United. Like you said, it doesn't bother them. They're not nervous because it's Manchester United and the legends that have wore the number that they've got on, especially Cunha. He's got that bit of good arrogance about him, Ali, where he sees the ball and wants to make things happen. But I think the team that worries me a bit, Ali, is Chelsea, but first of all, Manchester City. I mean, even Haaland, and this might sound crazy ever trying to have a go at Haaland, but he got 19 goals, Ali, in 17 Premier League games before Christmas. Since Christmas, he scored 3 in the Premier League, the same as Van Dijk.
Mate,
4 in 17 in all comps in 2026.
Mate, I was there. I was there at the weekend.
He's not doing enough.
I can only recall them putting 2 crosses into the box, you know what I mean? I think there's faults on both sides, you know. I understand he's not getting any service.
Yes.
But I still think his movement, he has to get involved more, you know, to a degree. I know he relies on through balls, and his goal scoring record is absolutely unbelievable. But I tell you, Gab, they just didn't look at it, City, at the weekend. Do you know, and it is understandable, Gab, but they looked like a team that had been sitting around. Clearly they wouldn't have.
Watching the game,
They'd just lost a goal. I just saw Arsenal score 2 goals in the 93rd minute, whatever it be. They just couldn't really get going, mate.
Yeah, and is it a surprise, though, when you watch the Real Madrid game, and everyone expected, even the bookies had Manchester City favourites at the Bernabeu, and Real Madrid with so many players out injured, Ali, Mbappe, Bellingham, Rodrigo, so many players not available, and it was a comfortable 3-0. Could have been even more.
Well,
but it's not just Haaland, Ali.
No, not at all.
Foden, 0 goals in 15 games, 2026. Shirky's got 4 in 20, 2026. Doku, 0 goals in 12 games in 2026. If it wasn't for Haaland and Semenyo, where would they be in the Premier League?
He's been he has been the one shining light, one of the shining lights, I think. And I must admit, I can't lie to you, I really enjoy watching Cherky. He's come off the bench the last couple of times, and I think he looks a good player. But Rodri is back playing well, Gab, but not. I don't think he's at the level that he once was. Is that fair?
100%. And if you at this moment could choose Rodri or Zubimendi and Rice, you know who you're choosing, aren't you? You're choosing Arsenal's midfield
all day
over Manchester City's. And also, Ali, I love Gahey, love Ruben Diaz, but you're choosing Arsenal centre-halves every day of the week.
Oh,
and as
absolutely.
an argument, you're choosing Arsenal's 2 defenders on the bench as well, Mascara and Hincapié. So that's the difference for me. Defensively, Arsenal more sound, and also Man City look a bit average, don't they, in midfield?
Who's under more pressure, you think, in terms of to get Champions League football out of clubs?
Chelsea.
Emery, Slot, Rosenior, Carrick.
I think Liverpool and Chelsea 100%. Not as much pressure on Carrick because of the bad season they were having under Amorim. He's doing fantastic, but Chelsea, your team as well, Ali.
Yeah.
I do worry about Liam Delap, and the reason why is that if there ever was a season where there was a chance for that second striker position to be taken by someone, Watkins, not confident, not scoring goals in the Premier League. Solanke, been out injured. Abraham, not getting game time. Ivan Toney, not in the picture. But Liam Delap, 1 goal, 2 yellow cards in 21 Premier League appearances.
It's funny,
not good enough.
Gab, it's funny. I think you made a good point there. And I mean, looking at Thomas Tuchel's squad for the World Cup, right? He's going to have a problem taking the replacement for Harry Kane.
Exactly.
Because there's nobody standing out at this moment in time.
And do you want to take a striker that's not in form or confident? I don't think this manager does. Does he take Rashford as his second striker and bring in maybe a Bowen or someone like that, maybe?
Well, you know I'm a fan of Bowen. I'm a fan of Bowen. I'm taking Bowen. I think Anthony Gordon will go. Then you've got the usual suspects after that: Saka, Madueke. Then you've got question marks over, as you say, Foden. You know, Cole Palmer, Morgan Rogers.
But Ali, do you think, like I said it earlier on in the season, that Liam Delap probably missed a trick going straight to Chelsea? Should have went to like an Everton. No disrespect to Everton, but go and score goals for 2 years at Everton, then make that big move to a club like Chelsea. But he just doesn't look like a Chelsea player. And I fear that in the summer, Ali, Chelsea are going to make a big decision on Liam Delap. If he goes out on loan or he gets sold, because he doesn't just look right in that Chelsea side.
I know what you mean, mate. No, I take your point. All right, mate. Coming up, we're going to be joined by former F1 team principal Gunther Steiner to get his thoughts and whether he thinks the Formula One's controversial new rules are good or bad for the sport.
Isn't it strange that we get 6 sides that every single English side went through? Newcastle were the only side that had to qualify via the playoff system.
Yeah.
But not one English side in the Premier League. And we like to think that we are. And I think there is a bit of arrogance. I do subscribe to that point of view. But is there something in the fact that maybe the Premier League is so demanding? So, for example, right, PSG this weekend have had their game cancelled to play Chelsea so that they have the rest between... They played last night, And the next time they're going to play is against Chelsea on Tuesday. Look, I don't see us turning it around at all, but we play Newcastle on Saturday. The league is demanding, or is that me just kind of making excuses for the Premier League?
No. Do you know what? Also, you got to look at this. So I understand what you're saying. You're not making excuses for the Premier League, but the Premier League might need to start working with the football clubs.
How's that
in the
gonna
Champions
work?
League. Well, Liga 1 done it. They move games, cancel the game to fit it into the PSG schedule to make it easier on the players.
Yeah, but here's the problem.
They want to retain the Champions League.
Yes,
it's a prestige trophy. Of
course.
So if your league has got that, so a team from your league has got the Champions League. It just makes you more prestige.
Here's the issue that's going to happen. Here's the problem: is that there have been examples of managers complaining, and I think some unfairly at times, about playing on a Wednesday and then playing on a Saturday 12:30 kickoff.
Hello and welcome to talkSPORT Goals. I'm taking you through what should be another busy day of football.
Chance to win it!
We don't need to do that, guys.
I'm going to owe you an apology.
How would you get to that conclusion? That's a weak mentality.
Oh, get out of it.
Okay, 9:18. It's Monday the 16th of March. This is talkSPORT Breakfast. Ali and Gabby are enjoying your company this morning. Right, the F1 season reached China last weekend. Teenager Kimi Antonelli won his first ever Formula 1 race with Mercedes teammate George Russell behind him in second. Lewis Hamilton was on the podium, his first podium for Ferrari, back in third. Wide-scale changes to the sport have been implemented, but they haven't gone down well with some of the drivers. Four-time world champion Max Verstappen, who retired from the race, right? That sounds a lot better than those cars racing, and I couldn't concentrate with the cars racing. He said, this is what Max Verstappen said, if someone likes this, then you really don't know what racing is like. Not fun at all. Playing Mario Kart. This is not racing. For me, it's just a joke. Now, don't forget, last week, current world champion Lando Norris called racing in 2006 chaos, adding a big accident could happen. Not good. So we're going to get more on this now and say a very, very good morning to former F1 team principal Gunther Steiner. Gunther, a very good morning. Thanks for joining us. Gunther. How are you, my friend?
Good morning to everyone. I'm good, thank you.
Great. Thanks for joining us. Gunther, this new hybrid engine, right, it's I'm led to believe it's a 50-50 split, internal combustion and electrical power. Now, I understand that people will have differing opinions on it and its importance to the sport itself. Where do you stand on it?
You know, we always got opinions about everything, but where I do stand on it, I think it's a new technology. I think the racing was pretty good. Obviously, people like Max maybe don't like change, and obviously what he's not used not to be in one of the best cars, so that doesn't help his mood to like the new regulation. But I think the new regulation is actually pretty good, and obviously it will develop over time, and all the teams are just learning in the moment what is going on, because it's an advanced technology, but I think the racing was good, and that's the most important thing.
I think for me, it's good as a neutral to see Mercedes winning and Lewis Hamilton's first podium under Ferrari. But for the McLarens, both McLarens not to start and Verstappen's car to be retired, they won't be happy, will they? And Verstappen, his toys can be out the pram, can't they, when it's not going his way?
Yeah, absolutely. And but that is not fault of the regulation. That's the fault of the team. If a car cannot start, like the two McLarens both not starting, that didn't happen for a long time. The two cars didn't make it to the start. But you cannot blame the regulation, because most of the other cars started, I would say, except Bortoleto. Obviously, he had an issue. And, as you said, Max is not happy because his car is not where he likes it to be. But we need to be fair, because Red Bull did their own power unit the first time. And it's such a advanced technology, so it takes some time to get that the engineers get used to it. And I think I'm actually surprised how good the new engine manufacturers like Ford, Red Bull, and Audi are. So with a little bit of time, and sometimes, as you said, Max, he throws the toys out of the pram if it doesn't go his way quite quick.
Gunther, tell me, I mean, getting back to what Lando said, Lando Norris, I mean, it's quite a quote that. He said, racing in 2026, the words chaos and a big accident could happen. That would be concerning. What does he mean by that?
I think what he means, because the deploying of this energy, and when you're charging these batteries, the cars slow down. And I think he was worried about that. And at the start, I think it's not easy to start these cars to get off the line. But on the first race, we had an issue. But Formula One is very good in addressing all these situations. Mm-hmm. And what Formula One does very well, and the FIA is on top of that, is safety. They would not do something which they know it's unsafe. So I find that criticism a little bit harsh. In racing, there always can something happen. But fingers crossed, nothing happened up to now. And I think it just gets better and better, because a new technology, you get always surprises. But I'm not really worried about that one. Obviously, I hope that nothing bad happens.
Yeah, of course.
Do you think the engine rules, they're going to be changing, aren't they, in June? Do you think they'll help Lewis Hamilton in his title race?
I don't think it's with Lewis. He didn't like the ground effect cars. The last regulation, he just doesn't like these cars. He never could get to enjoy them. And I think with these new rules, it's more the aerodynamics than the engine rules for Lewis, which he likes better. I think he can feel the car better without ground effect, and that is more his style, like when he won all his championships.
It's amazing, because he seems to like it. He was quoted at the weekend, obviously, that brilliant tussle with his Ferrari teammate Charles Leclerc, but he had a lovely quote, Gunther. He said it's the best racing that he'd experienced a long time in Formula One.
Guess why? Because he's having success. The opposite to Max. When you're on the good way, that is what you like. I mean, we're always like this. I mean, he was on the podium, I think more than a year he wasn't on a podium, in a main race for Lewis. And obviously he enjoys that. Why would he be negative about something where he has got success? So, we need to get used to it. But it's very good to see Lewis back.
Yes, Gunther, for me as a casual Formula One fan, I love seeing different drivers, winning, different drivers on the podium. Seeing Antonelli win, seeing Russell win the week before in Melbourne. That's what fans want to see, don't they? When it was just Verstappen, it did get quite predictable, didn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And in the moment, I think the two Mercedes, the Mercedes team, which is two cars, have got a little bit the edge on the other ones. But you can see the Ferraris are there again, and I'm sure that McLaren comes back. McLaren is a good team, and also Red Bull, they will come back, and then all of a sudden we will have Max being a lot more quiet about the new regulations if he can find success again.
It's an interesting one, Gunther. Well, we've got you on. Obviously has differing opinions. Some of the quotes that I'm looking at, one of them said that the changes have actually changed the fundamental nature of what drivers do, and to describe that better, it says beyond that it means that some of the elements of driver skill are being removed. It says some of the sport's most demanding corners, for example, real extreme tests of driver skill are no longer taken the same way. Is that something clearly that the drivers are going to have to manufacture and change their outlook?
Yeah, absolutely. And I go back to, maybe 10, 15 years ago, the young drivers which came in then, they were called the PlayStation drivers. This is now the next evolution, because obviously 30 years ago they had to shift to change gears. That doesn't happen anymore, and it's just technologies evolve and you need to adapt differently, and it gives a lot of young drivers the opportunity, because young people normally learn better, because to unlearn something an older person is more difficult than a young person to learn something. So they have to change a little bit their approach, and some of them don't like that, and maybe they are replaced by young drivers, but that's life, if somebody comes up which grew up with this technology, for sure it's easier for him than for somebody who's used to a different way of doing things.
Gunther, how much pressure is there on team principals and the team? Because when you go back to the Melbourne Grand Prix, Ferrari probably got it wrong, didn't they? Their strategy maybe cost their drivers.
Yeah, I mean, there is always pressure. And, with Ferrari, I think they tried a different strategy and it didn't work out. So obviously, with hindsight, you can say they got it wrong.
Yeah.
It could have gone right in theory, but that's a thing. They had to take a risk because the Mercedes was better. And if they just did the same with Mercedes, they knew exactly that they would be behind the Mercedes. So they tried something different and didn't lose anything out. They ended up anyway where the performance of the car was. They tried something different, but back to your question, I mean, there's always pressure with in any sport, that because you need to perform. I mean, you're judged by your performance.
Gunther, absolutely fantastic.
Amazing, mate.
Really appreciate you taking the time to come on and
thank you.
Talk us through it. Thanks a lot, mate. Take care. Have a good week.
Thank you guys, and thanks for having me.
Thanks again, Gunther. I must admit, Gav, it's a dramatic change. It must be, and you're spot on, by the way, because. And so is Gunther in terms of, you can understand Max toys out the pram.
Yes.
Lewis gets a good result. He thinks it's great. It's probably
Ali,
straightforward as that, isn't it?
Yeah, but if this carries on, you know what Max is going to do? He'll be bumping into people Mario Kart style. He won't be accepting being so far behind, Ali, and not finishing races.
No chance. Now listen up, F1 fans. We are down to the final week. We want you to send you and a mate to Silverstone on July the 5th for a British Grand Prix experience like no other. Don't miss out. Here's how to enter, guys. For your chance to win, text win to 83338. Text costs £2.50 plus your standard network rate, or call 0343 418 7260. The lines close 20th of March 2026 at 4 p.m. That's the number, 0343 418 7260. That's when you need to answer your phone. Of course, if it rings, 18 plus, UK residents only. Gabby, what are you doing? You watching that film?
I'm watching that film, mate.
I thought
with you?
I thought you were taking me for a bit of dinner.
We're going to watch it at dinner. I'm going to get on the big screen, Ali.
All right, fair enough. Coming up, we'll take a closer look at this Huddle saga that took place at Stamford Bridge on Saturday. Huddlegate coming next.
If you're taking out form right now, it has to be Harvey Barnes.
Yeah.
I mean, every time he steps on the pitch, I don't think he's going to score. He's so powerful and so quick. When he runs, it's almost like, oh my goodness, you're not catching him.
Yeah.
And that's where Thomas Tuchel, because I mentioned Barnes, Gordon, Rashford, Foden. You then got Palmer. I'm talking about attacking 10 attacking options.
Yeah.
You've got Palmer, Saka, Madueke, Bowen, Bellingham can play 10. Rodgers can play left.
Yeah.
I mean, there are going to be some big names on that list that don't go.
Yeah, but annoyingly, out of all of those players, none of them are really smashing it at the moment. Rodgers maybe is doing pretty well. Bellingham's been out injured.
Yeah.
Nothing from Foden.
No,
Cole Palmer's gone a little bit cold.
Yeah. Saka's not, obviously the numbers haven't been there. Madueke's in and out. But
Isn't that bizarre? If we were doing this World Cup a year ago, we'd be buzzing with those players.
But and as I said, Barnesy.
Barnesy, giving the old John Barnesy
Yeah, Harvey Barnes. He's right now he's probably in the best form out of all of them.
On the left-hand side, Rashford was on the bench last night, right?
Yeah.
Who starts for England on the left for you out of those two, Rashford and...
Oh, Rashford would be first, because Rashford for England's been good.
He does?
Yeah.
Does that matter? It's a good point you make. Does that matter? If you're really good for England, but you're not doing it at club level, and some players are like that...
Danny Welbeck was a prime example of that.
Okay. Does your league form matter too much when the manager knows when you put the English shirt on, you perform?
Yeah, I think for certain players, I think it does matter. Because, again, a prime example is the last Euros, not the one in Germany, the one before that, sorry.
Yeah.
Where we was all saying Sterling can't go, his form wasn't there, and he was our best player.
That's a great point.
But you know what Sterling's going to get experience. You know exactly that when it's the highest, he can step up.
Who would have thought a sporting event's halftime show could have a bigger impact than the game itself? That seems to be the case with the Super Bowl halftime show. In 2024, Usher brought in an audience of 180 million worldwide, the biggest in the event's history. But how did singing and dancing get to be the centerpiece of America's biggest sporting event? The first Super Bowl was held in 1967. Initially, the halftime show was a display purely for the fans in the stadium, with marching bands, dancers, and American patriotism for all to see. And that's what it was for the first few years. Disney had a go with a few questionable displays in the 1980s, but it wasn't until '93 that we got the first glimpse into the future of halftime shows. Michael Jackson's stellar performance gave NFL execs something to think about. A raft of massive names followed, including Diana Ross, U2, Janet Jackson, who gave us the most famous or infamous wardrobe malfunction of all time. So how many people are involved? To give you an idea of the scale, Rihanna's 2023 performance included 800 people, and experts reckon it cost $13 million. What's even more impressive than some of the names on the bill every year is the fact they do it for free. The artists know the exposure they'll get from doing the show will rocket them up the charts across the world. The Super Bowl halftime show will be a fixture in pop culture for years to come. So the question is, who next?
Okay, 9:34, this is talkSPORT Breakfast. Ali and Gabby with you this morning. Now, if you weren't aware, and you probably are, our very own Jason Cundy has been going viral for his... It's been unbelievable, Gab, isn't it? It has been absolutely unbelievable.
Amazing, isn't he?
He's been playing keep you up with that, Jamie O'Hara, hasn't he? Sports bar antics. And if you want more Cundy antics, the latest episode of the 21 Minutes to Go podcast with Andy Goldstein and Jason Cundy is out now. Now this week the boys attempt unbelievable tennis, plot a talkSPORT takeover in Ibiza, and Cundy shares a definitely not made up history lesson on where the phrase the bee's knees actually comes from.
We've all heard the expression the bee's knees.
The bee's knees. This goes back to the early days of honey. They would somehow drug the bees. I don't know how they do this. I don't know how, right? But they found out that the bees that had the longest legs and the longest knees produced the most honey.
The longest knees?
Longest knees.
Do bees have knees?
Bees got knees. Bees got knees, right? And
obviously, right?
So they put them on the pack and they look there, look at that one, look, he produced the most honey.
Yeah.
And that one there didn't. And they go, look, and they looked and they realised all the ones that produced my honey had the biggest knees. And that's where it comes from, the bee's knees.
He's going to get locked up, isn't he?
Yeah. He's not well, is he?
No, I don't think he's well at all, the boy, to be quite honest. If you've got 20 minutes to spare, go and check. 21 minutes to spare, go and check out the podcast. Now, it's that time on a Monday morning when we slam a lid in our George Foreman grill and former Premier League referee Chris Hoy and pick over the weekend's biggest officiating stories and controversies. And we've got to start. First of all, it's a very good morning to Chris. Chris, how are you this morning?
Good morning, Chris.
Good morning, boys. You well?
Morning, mate.
We're in great form, mate. Thank you very much for joining us. But I'm going to have a listen to this, right? We're going to start with a bizarre huddle that took place at Stamford Bridge. Have a listen to this, Chris, and let me know what you think. Referee Paul Tierney get caught up in the Chelsea team's huddle. This is the Blues boss, Liam Rossinior's explanation.
My players made a decision that they wanted to be around the ball, to respect the ball, and show unity and leadership. That is not my decision. That was a decision between a leadership group and a team. There is nothing that they're doing with that huddle that is disrespectful to the opposition. And do you know what's amazing? Before the game, it wasn't me. We had a meeting with the referee. My assistant goes in. The first thing he talks about is our huddle. And he says about when I complained about Arsenal being in our half. It wasn't the goalkeeper coach that was in our half, and people who were at that game at Arsenal know why I said what I said. We're not being disrespectful to the opposition. If Paul had focused more on his job, which was to make the right decision, we have a penalty today.
Ooh. Chris, I mean, I bet you didn't think at the weekend, the first thing I would be asking about you would be Paul Tierney getting involved in a huddle. That's the one thing you didn't ask. You wouldn't have a bargain me asking you. The whole thing was bizarre, Chris, wasn't it?
I think it's nonsense, Ali. I have to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I think we've seen it twice now. I mean, I refereed a lot of football. You guys played a lot of football. I've not seen anything like it before. I don't think it's a good look.
No.
I don't understand why they did that. I mean, I have a bit of sympathy with Paul, in fairness. He was caught in the moment. You can see he passes his coin to one of his assistants, and then as he moves back, he's surrounded. So he just stood there and saw it out. But yeah, it's not a good look, is it?
Chris. Sorry, I'm just going to say, it's a lot of nonsense, really, and you're right, it's not a good look. I mean, even the nonsense of, and it is nonsense, paying respect to the ball and all that. I mean, I've never heard it in my life. If you want to do your huddle, do your huddle. I mean, it is effectively, it's a gimmick, right? That's what it is. It's a gimmick to get the crowd going, get the crowd behind you, and that's fine. But if you want to do that, by all means, do it. But don't do it around the ball. And plus the fact, if I was an opposition player, I wouldn't like them doing it in my half.
You make a really good point, Ali, because there were half in the Newcastle half, and of course it was the Newcastle kickoff as well. So yeah. I think there's lessons to be learned here, how we deal with this better. And I'm with you. I don't see any problem in having a huddle. Why not have a huddle, but do it in your own half? Yeah. But as I said, I just thought that was nonsense.
I want your thoughts, though, if you wouldn't mind, on ex-referee Mark Clattenburg, because he's written a piece in the Mail. Arrogant ref made a rod for his own back. The image of Paul Tierney standing in the middle of the Chelsea huddle, looking straight down the television camera lens, was not only bizarre, but also a terrible look for the referee. Tierney had opportunities to push past the Chelsea players, but he just let it happen. From his body language, he looked like he was enjoying it. Woo!
I've never heard so much guffing all my life. Could you imagine if Paul Tierney turns around and pushes the Chelsea players out of the way? What happens if he got a reaction from one of the Chelsea players? He wasn't in a position to get out of that circle. As I said, he passed his coin to his assistant, and by the time he'd moved back, he was surrounded. There wasn't a lot he could do, so he used his discretion in that situation. And as we said, it's not a good look because everybody's focused on the still image of Paul being in the middle of this huddle, and everybody's not really talking about the football, which is really upsetting, really.
Yeah, there's another one, Chris, which I think can happen. Referee Tom Bramall forgot that he'd already booked, I think it was Gabriel Goodmunson, and that, for me, that's just one of these things. Referee makes a mistake, the same as the players make mistake, they're human.
Yeah, I mean, this is the beauty. We talk about referees now and being in a refereeing team with a fourth official, and ironically, the fourth official for that game was Paul Tierney, wasn't it? So there was a delay there. They got the right outcome. It was untidy, but thankfully we got the right outcome.
So what I didn't
in the
like
end.
though, guys, was when Crystal Palace defender Canvo was celebrating like he just won the Champions League final at that red card. I thought that was bad sportsmanship from the Crystal Palace defender.
Yeah, I've actually watched that back this morning. I thought it was really surprising. It was actually done behind the back of the referee, Tom Bramall. Again, I've never really seen someone celebrate someone getting sent off, and I think had it have been identified, I think he would have been well within his rights to show him a yellow card for unsporting behaviour. That's for sure.
I think so. And the other thing I don't mind, Chris, I've got to be honest with you, I actually think it's good that players are actually receiving a yellow card for demanding a yellow card. I don't think that's a bad thing at all.
That's something the referees have spoken about, since the start of the season, feigning injury, waving imaginary yellow cards, delaying the restart, kicking the ball away. It's the side of the game that we don't like. And I think if you're going to show an imaginary yellow card to get a fellow pro sent off or cautioned, then you deserve a yellow card yourself.
Chris, Ali, I was at my daughter's game a couple of weeks ago, under 15s, right? She makes this block, she's a centre-half. She makes this block close in the penalty area. Literally deflects off her leg, hits her arm. She's got her arm out because that's how you tackle. And the ref give her a penalty. And I was like, the refs at even the level of the under 15 girls team are giving penalties like the Champions League referees, Ali. I was like, ref, no chance.
Hey, Chris, I'm telling you, Gav, I watch more youth football than most, right? And the referees have got no chance, man. They've got no linesman, they've got no help, and there's a ball. Every ball that gets played over the top, Chris, the parents on one end are shouting offside.
Onside.
Right? Honestly, he's got no chance. The referees have got no chance at youth level, Chris.
I know. I was surprised there that Gabby didn't send me the clip for me to have a look at.
Okay, I will afterwards, so I'm going to send it you.
Well,
listen. I'm going to get him on a referee's course. We're looking at ex-players becoming refs. I think he's an ideal candidate, Ali.
I don't think you're wrong, mate.
What I do love, though, Ali, sorry, Ali and Chris, is that recent games I've been watching, I've loved it when the referees are played on. And all these little... It happened yesterday in the Villa game, and the players are diving, and they're on the floor, play on. The refs are getting better at that again, aren't they?
I like it, man. Just, I know, no time for that.
No time wasting.
I don't think that's a bad thing.
I mean, the preference now is not to penalise minimal contact. Yes. We like a bit of contact in our football, and we like a tackle, and we want the game to be compelling.
100%.
And if players are going down, just keep. And what I found this season is that when the referees early on haven't blown the whistle too quick, the players soon get the message and they're on their feet and they want to play.
On the feet.
Chris, I've got to say to you, mate, I think this has been quite a mild Monday morning. What's your own views? It's been quite quiet this morning, hasn't it?
I'll take this, Ali. I mean, even when we didn't have the Premier League, I was doing the SPL. You came
that's worse, mate. Don't get me started on that. Right, mate, thanks for your time. You have a good week.
Have a good day, lads.
Oh, dear me. And don't forget, Martin Cohen is going on from 10 o'clock this morning. I have got a feeling that man is going to be unbearable this morning.
Yes.
And do you know something? He deserves it. He deserves it. That day, what have we got? It's 9:43. We're going to take a short break, then we've got a final segment.
on this week's Inside Liverpool, winger Jermaine Pennant gave some of his own stats on the slot after hearing about the Dutchman winning 62 of those 100 in charge.
We've lost to Galatasaray twice without scoring a goal. They finished 20th in the league phase. We've lost both to Man City and Man United at Anfield. We've lost 4-1 to PSV. Then the next game after that, 3-0 to Forest at home, both games at Anfield. We failed to beat Leeds twice this season. We failed to beat all 3 promoted teams at Anfield. We've lost 3 times to Crystal Palace this season. Lost to Wolves, Brentford, and Bournemouth away. Now, I don't know who you blame for that. I don't know if you blame the players or the manager, but hearing that is absolutely shocking. As current Premier League champions, that is dreadful.
Jermaine Pennant there on Inside Reds. And if you want to watch the latest Inside series, all the episodes are available on talkSPORT's YouTube channel. That's all thanks to BetMGM 18+, BeGambleAware.org.
Inside series on talkSPORT with BetMGM. Watch the latest Inside series episode live on talkSPORT's YouTube channel now. 18+, BeGambleAware.org.
Are those fair stats for Jermaine Pennant to use in his argument against Arne Slot?
Well, they are facts, aren't they? So, and it depends on the standard which you judge Liverpool by, and them standards have certainly dropped.
Hello and welcome to talkSPORT Goals. I'm taking you through what should be another busy day of football.
Chance to win it!
We don't need to do that, guys.
I'm going to owe you an apology. How would you get to that conclusion?
That's a weak mentality.
Oh, get out of it.
Okay, 10 minutes to go, Gav. We're nearly there, and I'll bring that microphone down because I had it up on the top of my head then, you probably couldn't hear me. talkSPORT Breakfast, Alan Gabby here this morning, Monday 16th March. We're in the home straight, pal. Right, here are some of the best stories this morning that you might have missed over the weekend with Olivia.
Cameron Young beat England's Matthew Fitzpatrick to the Players' title yesterday evening. Rory McIlroy's preparation to his Masters defence continued to disappoint as he finished 13 shots back.
The nice thing is my body and my game feel like they've sort of progressed each and every day. Even though the scores didn't reflect it, to get through and have my body come through is a win.
Listen up, cricket fans. On your way to Lord's this summer? Well, if you are, you might be able to enjoy Jeremy Clarkson's beer Hawkstone to celebrate a proper British summer.
Delicious.
And it was a great start to life at Feyenoord for this man.
Outrageous from Raheem Sterling, back to his best.
Yes, Raheem Sterling notched up his first assist for his new club as they ran out 2-1 winners.
Oh, well, that's cheered me up. I bet that has cheered you up as well, Gab. I'm delighted Raheem Sterling's
Yes,
got
happy.
I've
seen the assist.
I didn't see it, mate. How was it?
It was a nice little ball played into him, little turn, and then a nice through ball to the striker who finished.
Brilliant.
Yeah, nice for him to be back, enjoying his football.
Absolutely, pal. Now we're going to head over to talksport.com to get all the latest. We're going to finish with a focus on your Villa gap before we go, sadly.
Okay.
3-1 loss to United, and certainly Champions League qualification is in real jeopardy, which you have said for the last couple of weeks. Winless in the last 4 in the Premier League, but Unai Emery is not too worried.
Yes, but the league is 38 matches. You were asking me 2 months ago if we were favourite to win the title. Yes, I told you. No, not in that moment, when we were fantastic. Why? Because we are fighting against the team. They are opponents. They are favorite to be in the top 5, even top 7. And of course, to be there for the third year is really fantastic. Yes, but of course, to keep it is the most difficult challenge we have. Why? Because they have the capacity like they are showing.
Gabby, it's an interesting one, mate. And I think you said earlier on in the programme, you might be, and if I'm wrong, I know you'll tell me, that you might be a little bit concerned that Emery won't be there next season.
Yes.
I mean, I think that'd be a disaster, mate. I really do. It'd be a disaster for Villa, clearly, but it'd be a disaster for the league, because I think he's just different class.
Yeah, the problem is, Ali, because of these financial rules, and Aston Villa can't, spend what they want. So he wanted Asensio to come back, he didn't. Look at January transfer window last year when he brought in Asensio and Rashford. This year he's bringing in Tammy Abraham, who is not really going to get you to where you want to go. I'm just worried that if Villa don't get Champions League football, the finances are a mess. They've got to sell maybe Morgan Rogers, and even if you get 100 million for him, you might be able to spend 40 million of it because of how the financial rules work. I just don't think he's going to hang around for that, and it'd be so sad if this
it'd be a disaster,
era
mate.
of Unai Emery at Aston Villa, they don't win a trophy, and he leaves on a sour note. But we have to trust, as Villa fans, they have to trust that this manager will get it over the line. Like he says, it's 38 games. Yes, Aston Villa 3 wins in their last 13 Premier League games, Ali, is nowhere near good enough. But when you look at the squad of players they've got available, Morgan Rogers, 8 Premier League goals. Ollie Watkins, 8 Premier League goals. Then you're going down to Buendia on 5. Donyell Marlon, who's not at the club anymore, on 4. Matty Cash and John McGinn on 3. Onana, 2. Barkley, Kamara, Abraham on 1 goal each, Ali. Like, it's not good enough. No. And then Jadon Sancho, no Premier League goal yet. You know what he's working with? Leon Bailey, poor again. He's working miracles with the players he's got available. You're going head-to-head with Manchester United on the weekend, who have spent nearly 300 million in the summer. Premier League proven top players like Mbumo, Konya. Do you know what I mean, Ali? That's the problem with Villa.
Gab, I'm telling you right now, your next... is it West Ham you've got at home?
West Ham at home on Sunday.
I'm thinking that's a must-win.
Yes.
And I said to you, I've seen West Ham, Gab, maybe 3 or 4 times the last 6-7 weeks. They've got something about them, mate.
Exactly.
They have got something about them. The 3 centre-backs, I mentioned to you, mate... At the weekend against Manchester City, Todibo Mavropanos, who was excellent, Disasi, Wan-Bissaka gives them stability. Do you know what I mean? I like. By the way, I do like.
I love Diouf at left back. Strong, great on the ball, got a great cross in him, quick, can defend.
They've got a nice wee balance in the middle of the park with Souček and Fernandes, and then Jared Bowen, I think, is one of the top players.
Somerville to come back as well. He wasn't available, was he?
I tell you, that's a tough game for you, mate. That is a tough game for you,
Ali. And the problem is as well with Aston Villa, they sort of become predictable. You know, the 2 wingers, if you say Buendia on one side and maybe Rodgers on the other side, they both want to come inside. So if you can crowd that middle of the pitch, you stop Aston Villa. Because Villa don't really like putting crosses in the box, are they?
Absolutely.
They want to get it into Buendia and Rodgers in little holes, and teams are starting to find them out. But if you're West Ham, you're not looking at that game, Ali, of, can we just nick a point? You're going in to win.
I know. It's amazing, man. We're into some end of the season, I'll tell you.
Yes.
And don't forget, mate, talkSPORT Breakfast tomorrow morning will be the best place to build up to a massive night of Champions League action. But up next here in talkSPORT, Martin Keown is back with White and Jordan. And I just wonder if he'll be happy with our Gabby for your comments on Martin's Champions League punditry for the Leverkusen game, mate.
Leverkusen by far the better team. First half, Martinelli had a great opportunity where he smashed one left foot off the bar. But apart from that, Leverkusen were the better team, and they should feel very unlucky. There was 2 instances for me where Zubamendi should have been sent off. He got a yellow card. And then Madueke dived for a penalty. Blatant dive. Mr. Biased, Martin Keown, doing the game last night, said it was a definite penalty. It's getting a bit silly now. He's biased towards Arsenal. Definite dive, and I'm just surprised that VAR didn't overturn it. So Arsenal very lucky, and another boring game to watch.
It was
one of the games where I was like, 5:45, can I have a little half-hour nap here in the second half? But I didn't. I watched it through, and it was very, very boring game.
Spot on, by the way. You did not say anything that wasn't right there.
Thanks, mate. Thanks, mate.
Wasn't a penalty and wasn't a good game.
Yes, and also, don't know for Andy Goldstein under the bus, but Andy said some harsh words again about Martin Keown. Just to throw that in the hat, Ali. Yeah.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Poor Martin.
What are you up to today? What's your plans today?
I'm meeting you, mate.
Yeah, I know. I'm coming down early. We're going for a bit of dinner.
We'll go for a bit of food. Yeah,
That'd be lovely.
Watch the classic game tonight, Brentford versus Wolves. We'll find somewhere to watch that.
I'm with you.
Important game to watch.
I fancy Brentford, mate.
Yes, I fancy them to comfortably win. But that's it, mate. Yeah, gonna watch your film. It's an hour and 30 minutes. I'm gonna watch that straight away.
Yeah. You can let me know what you think after.
You're a great kisser, Ali. You know that. Has anyone ever told you?
I'll get everything crossed that Martin Keown comes in and sorts you out, by the way. I've got to say to you right now. So what I was going to say to you, I'm at, what have I got? I'm obviously I'm seeing you tomorrow, and then I've got a couple of good games, mate. I've got Arsenal. Arsenal Tuesday, Liverpool Wednesday.
Lovely. Big games.
They are.
Yes.
And I think both of them will go through.
And I think that's the only two that go through, though, Ali.
Absolutely. I don't disagree with you.
Because Barcelona rested Lamine Yamal on the weekend.
Yep.
So that they made changes for that game.
Tough for Newcastle.
Yeah,
very, very tough for Newcastle.
Result, yeah.
By the way, I haven't even spoke to you. How well did Lewis Hall do against Yamal the other night? Yeah. Did you watch it?
But it was promising for me, Ali, for the World Cup.
Yeah.
If he's doing that against one of the best wingers in the world, then you sort of can trust him, can't you, at left back?
100%.
It'd be himself or O'Reilly, but Lewis Hall has been very good.
Listen, I was another thing I was going to say to you. O'Reilly, who happens, I think he's been absolutely tremendous. I thought he struggled in the Bernabeu, didn't he? He got caught. It's the poorest game.
I'm surprised he never got dragged, Ali, to be honest.
That's what I was going to say to you. I thought he might get taken off. He's been brilliant. He has been fantastic. Yes. But that was as poor as I've seen him.
That first goal can't happen.
It can't happen.
That can't
I don't care. Listen,
give yourself a yard.
Cannot happen.
Yes.
It's just a punt up the park and behind the fullback. He takes 2 touches and he scores.
Yes, it cannot happen. I'm watching now, I'm thinking like, no, come on, O'Reilly, you got to keep going. You got a chance of starting at the World Cup. Very poor. And the second goal as well, he could have done better with.
Aye, he kind of goes and stops a little bit.
Yes.
All right, mate. Listen, I'll look forward to seeing you later. I'll be down there and we'll get a bit of dinner. Look forward to seeing you. Thanks for your company and thanks very much for your company out there. We hope you've enjoyed listening as much as we have enjoyed doing the show. Martin's coming up next. Gavin and I will see you 6 a.m. bright and early tomorrow morning.
Tottenham Hotspur have delayed season ticket renewals, which normally open by the 15th of March until the end of the season. A statement read this to season ticket holders yesterday. We recognise the seriousness of the current league position and following discussions with our fan advisory board and the Tottenham Hotspur Supporters Trust, we can confirm the renewal